it's such as the game. I've seen Ramos get a whole lot of hate, and I just can't agree with it. I don't think he does. Like, yeah, sure, he locks his arm and he's trying to pull him down, but that's normal. He's not trying to fucking break his arm.
Sounds like Sergio Ramos to me.
Well, yes, but it's like it's one of those things. It's like I would understand the hate for Ramos if he would have fucking came in flying at like 100 miles an hour and fucking started showing kicking him down and injuring him that way. I would have understood it, but he's trying to pull him down.
Oh, you mean like how defenders work in Whistle? Have you gotten to that episode yet?
No.
There's an episode where they play a team and they're quote unquote defensive, and their whole strategy is like cleats up and injure them.
Oh,
and the ref just kind of goes play on.
Yeah, I know. That's the typical like the quote unquote cheating team that always happens in a lot of sports anime. It's like we can only break the rules, and the refs are always blind, so it works out.
Yeah, well, in this case, the ref just goes, "Forget it. We're moving on."
Yeah, no, I know. It's like it's like that Kuroko no Basket episode when they're fucking, or like when they're playing that one team, and they're just always fucking elbows in the face, kicking them in the shin, and they always do it just as the player is walking in between the ref's line of sight and them. They say, yeah, okay, right.
Yeah, well, at least they kind of like try to make it believe. In Whistle, it's just no. There's a point where the guy who has the ball and two players go on both sides, cleats up into the same shin.
JD, I like how your plot for Digimon the Movie says Summer Wars.
Yeah,
it pretty much is.
It very much is. It's the fucking pilot for Summer Wars. I mean, Hosoda himself has pretty much said that. It's like, yeah, basically.
Summer Wars is such a good movie, though.
It's fun. It is.
All right, let's see if the stream is up and connected.
I'm not the biggest fan of Summer Wars either. Well,
what else has that guy done? He's done Wolf Children too, hasn't he?
Wolf Children.
Boy in the Base, Go Whole Up Through Time.
Yeah.
I do like Wolf Children. Wolf Children's good.
I still need to watch that.
It's pretty good. It's got a weird wolf sex scene, but you know,
I've heard it.
I watch that every night. All right, we ready to get this thing going? Get this thing started.
Well, I don't know. Yes.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, maybe I want to go rewatch Slayers just so I can get my final thoughts, you know?
Yeah, I don't think I properly understood the significance of that last scene yet. Hold on. There's some underlying details there.
You have some crazy allegory again for cancer.
I mean, the only crazy allegory I have for cancer this time is that Slayers is cancer, but okay.
All right, I think we're good. I think we're good on this review.
It's not just me that hates the show. Then I'm good to know. Good to know.
Oh well, Tori. Before we start, this guy picks Slayers, and then he messages me like 3 days later. I fucking hate this show.
I can respect it. I can respect it.
Like, why'd you pick it? It's like, because I have all of it on DVD.
Yeah, maybe today let's go and buy something, you know? Save money.
Well, damn, you should consider returning that. Get your money back.
I can't. I've had it now for about 2 years.
And he's never watched it till now.
Well, you know, see if you can track back the guy and be like, you know that thing I remember I bought?
You gave me cancer. It's just in anime form. Okay, all right.
All right, if we're gonna talk about this, we really should be recording it because this is gold.
Okay.
Even though I'm silver, eh?
Yeah, and Tori, as to not do what happened with Gunsmith Cats, I just wrote that. I mean, the whole summary I wrote right there. I'm just gonna pretty much just say that.
Fair enough.
All right.
I have a question.
Sure.
Am I going by Jay?
Yeah, J Silva. What do you prefer?
We'll go back Jay Silva then. Seeing as though I can't use JD, seeing as though you're using it.
Damn right, that's my name.
I had a first.
I'm Mr. Perfect this week. You can't bother me.
That's right. You bought a perfect game. Congratulations. It's a shame you didn't go shopping for your New Japan stuff.
No, I went shopping for WXW shirts instead because they were €10.
How much does that translate to, like, the US dollar?
Like $1.50 more.
What the freak? Didn't you tell me you were going shopping for them and I would have given you some money? I hate you. I'm just saying.
You're not alone.
Everyone hates me these days.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah, just indulge my bowling talk at the beginning for like catching up and whatnot, if you guys don't mind. It's actually kind of a good story because it involves a car accident first.
That sounds like a good story.
Yeah.
So I got this car accident, right? And then
but then I bowled a perfect game, you know?
So, you know, life evens out. All right. Okay, so I'm going to count down.
How do you guys do this? So you just count down from 3 and then record?
Count down from 3, hit record. We're going to wait
On
10
3
seconds.
Or after 3?
On
He's
go.
gonna say go.
So
1,
3, 2,
2,
1,
3,
go,
2,
and you hit record on go.
Okay.
And then we're going to wait 10 seconds for background noise and what have yous. And then I'll do the intro.
Okay.
Alrighty?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Welcome to the Red Leaf Retrocast. It's the Worldwide Weebs, and we're getting more worldy today. I'm your host, JD, from the United States of these Americas. I'm joined here with the host that knows the most. That is Tori. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good as normal.
Just normal?
Just normal.
Okay. Nothing. Norway's not invading the North Pole yet?
Why would we? We own it.
Well, I'm Well, my joke is now gone and nulled. Anyways, We're joined here by a special guest. Care to introduce yourself, sir?
Wait, why do I have to introduce myself? You should introduce me. I'm the special guest.
Well, Mr. Special Guest, this is Jay Silver from the Smack It Down podcast. He has been kind enough to pick today's anime that we'll be reviewing and join us for any discussions hereforth. Jay, please introduce yourself now.
I'm Jay Silver from the Smack It Down Wrestling Podcast, Australian wrestling podcast, if you will, and I chose Slayers, and it was not a good idea.
Oh, we'll definitely be getting there. It was quite the adventure watching that.
Because it's an adventure fantasy.
Oh, breaking some fourth walls here. Well, guys, I have quite the story just to start off the podcast, if you might indulge me.
Okay, moving on. No, you go, JD.
Yeah,
I'll allow it this time.
Oh, thank you, Tori.
Wait. Pause it for a sec, because something's going on with my recording.
Oh, boy.
It's picking up everyone for some reason, even though I'm muted my mic.
Okay, I will just X out. We can start over. It's cool.
Yeah, everyone can stop talking for a sec.
Hello?
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 Is there anyone out there?
Why is it picking you guys up?
What, in Audacity?
Everything? Yeah. I muted my microphone after the first 10 seconds until you spoke to me. It's still picking us up. Let me try something. Hang on.
Oh, okay. I'm a patient man.
Okay, let's try putting that to there.
Mm.
Okay, go ahead and talk.
Hello? I am talking. I am saying words. English is the preference language of the podcast.
That's a weird thing to have in English. What the frig? It's still picking up.
Man, that's weird. From now on, we're going to have this podcast be in Norwegian because, I'm say so.
Heidi, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to replace you.
All right.
JD, what would be the problem?
With Audacity?
Yeah.
Let's see.
So, I've got it down, so my front microphone should be the microphone, which is my headset, or the stereo mix.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, it shouldn't be picking anyone up.
Yeah, because Audacity's only capable of recording your own voice.
Well, that's not true, but I just don't know what the problem is right now.
Try turning it off and turning it on again.
What's your what is your microphone through the USB?
The microphone's through the normal headphone jack, like the double of them. If that makes sense. Like I got one hole for microphone, one hole for headset.
Yeah.
The frig is going on? Why is it being weird?
Maybe you don't have it selected. Maybe you have like what you hear selected.
Maybe. Wait, say something again, like really loud?
Hello!
Yeah, it's still picking it up. What the hell?
Exit Audacity and bring it back?
I guess try that.
Oh.
Because what have you got your settings down as, dude? So what's your microphone in your Audacity?
Blue Snowball USB.
Helpful.
Mm-hmm. 2 stereo. MME. Not Windows Direct or anything.
Alright, I have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Where is my voice meter? I'll play with that and see if I can get that to fix it. Like, that wouldn't be the problem, would it? Because, like, voice meter's not running.
Couldn't tell you. Well, I heard an echo.
Gotta turn that all the way down. Alright, say something?
Something.
Something like what?
Something like what?
Loud?
Louder. Oh my god.
One more time?
Hello? Am I hearing things? Can you hear me? Are the things being said?
Yes, they're still being said. I don't get this.
Alright, well I have... we'll just record through me then.
Okay. Unless you want me to record it.
No, I can record it.
Alrighty. Now I feel like a doucher, like having to start the thing over.
Nah, it's fine.
Alright. Sorry, JD.
Do you have something to use other than Audacity, actually?
No.
You don't have, like, OBS or anything?
I don't know what that is.
Streaming software.
No.
Okay, then.
Yeah. Sorry, dude.
Alright, so... Tori, you ready?
I'm ready.
Alright. 3...
Okay, well... Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go. Okay, we are live with the Red Leaf Retrocast. Worldwide Weebs are getting more worldy today. I am JD, your host, joined here with the Norwegian, the host that knows the most. Tori, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine.
I'm glad to hear it. Just fine, though? Nothing special?
Just fine. Nothing special's been going on. I've just been living life like I always do. Not at all.
Oh, well, alright. Well, we got a special guest. We are joined here today by my buddy Jay Silva from all the way from the island/country of Australia. How you doing, Jay? Who are you? Why don't you tell the peoples?
I'm doing pretty well, man. Apparently this is a murder island, just so as the people out there know. And I am from the Smack It Down podcast, where we do a weekly recap of the week in wrestling, and it's usually pretty awful because just WWE is a thing, you know? It's gross.
Yeah, there's much better promotions out there these days. But we're not here to talk about wrestling. We're here to talk about anime. And what was the anime that you, our special guest, chose for this podcast?
I chose something which I thought I was going to enjoy because it came out about the same time as Dragon Ball Z and all the stuff from the golden age of anime. And then this thing fell right down on its face, and it is Slayer Season 1.
The Slayer Season 1, to be exact.
It doesn't get... It's the is a title. It is just Slayers.
Well, I'm quite excited for this podcast. Been looking forward to it for a number of weeks now. Not just because you were gonna be the guest here, Jay, but it's because we got more than just Slayers to talk about. We also have Echo in the podcast. Jay, will you turn yourself down, please?
My microphone's muted, dude. Not me.
It is not me. Who is echoing?
It is you, Jay.
It
We
is.
can hear ourselves. We're starting over again. My fucking pen.
All right then.
So why the frig is my microphone not accepting mute as a thing today?
Good question.
Indeed. I'm just going to have to run the mute through Audacity. I mean, not through Audacity, through Discord. I'll do touch to speak.
Yeah, and I don't have the patience and time to deal with getting rid of echo like that, especially when it's coming over.
You know, like I said, I don't know what's going on with the microphone today.
Yeah, your audio is terrible.
Just in general, or like only... Yeah.
It's the echo. That's what's doing it.
Oh.
Because I can hear, I could have heard myself. I heard myself loud and clear twice.
What about now? How's it now?
I'm not hearing anything now.
Now it seems good.
What about now?
Well, nothing.
Nothing there.
Well,
No echo.
okay. As I said, no idea what's going on. My computer's just being bitchy.
Welcome to technology. Never works when you want it to.
Dictology.
Yeah.
Dictology. Wow.
I'll still
Clever.
put on touch to speak. How do I do that?
Settings, I assume. Let's see here. Setting, voice and video. Yeah, just go to settings, voice and video, and then push to talk.
Push to sprechen. Oh my god. Episode 25. Intro. Hooray. Okay.
Yeah.
Third time's the charm, right?
Yeah.
One can hope.
Okay. We've had worse technical difficulties, that's for sure. Isn't that right, Tori?
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had constantly one of our hosts drop.
I am inclined not to believe you guys.
Because we're so perfect.
Yep. You know, you're
Every
right.
No, I'm
episode,
saying,
every
like,
episode is fantastic.
I'm tipping that I was one of the worst host guest people. I don't know what's going on. I really don't.
Well, you're only the third one?
I mean, let's be real. The worst host was the one that said we were going to record, and then he didn't show up because he was too busy throwing up.
Well,
That's not his fault then. He was sick.
Well,
that was from the night before. That was my fault.
he had kind of drank like a lot.
Oh, is this the night that you were in the AAA Discord?
No, this was like last year.
Right.
I got drunk Tuesday, Wednesday. That's for sure. Okay, are we ready?
We are ready.
Tell me something. Can you tell the difference from when I'm not talking versus like when it's got push to talk on and off? If that makes sense.
I'm not too sure what you mean by that.
So, like, can you tell when I'm holding in the button to talk?
No.
Excellent.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right, Tori, you ready?
I am ready.
3, 2, 1, go. And welcome to the Red Leaf Retrocast, episode 25. This is the Worldwide Weeb's Anime Edition. I am your host, JD, from the United States of America. The United States. Doesn't feel so united these days, but luckily I'm joined here by two amazing hosts. One is a guest, we'll get to him. But first, the host that knows the most, all the way from Norway, Tori. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Nothing exciting's happened. I am just doing the usual, which is nothing.
Ooh, you keeping up with this season's anime?
Well, yes.
Not too exciting?
Not really, no. Well, this season's been kind of, even the shows that I've been looking forward to, they've kind of been dropping off, and now all I have left is Darling in the Franxx.
Mid-season lull, indeed, is in full swing. Even the hype megalobox is falling off. Well, that's to be expected with anime these days. So let's move on to our guest host, Jay Silva, all the way from the island country of Australia. Jay, please tell the wonderful audience who you are and what you represent.
I am Jay Silva from the Murder Island, known as Australia, and I represent the Smack It Down podcast, where we do a weekly recap of professional wrestling, which is usually awful because WWE is a thing.
It certainly is these days. And why don't you tell everybody what was the anime that you chose for us to watch for this podcast episode?
Well, you told me it had to be over a certain age, and I figured, I've got this on DVD. It should be pretty decent, and I chose Slayers. Turns out it wasn't decent.
As a little hint for the cast ahead. We got a good episode for us on this one here. We got a question that was proposed by a listener that we'll get into about romance anime. So we're hitting that again. And then we'll get into kind of the great debate of the 90s, which is the Pokemon versus Digimon discussion. But we're doing this a little bit differently. We're gonna focus on kind of the first movies representing both. Pokemon first movie and Digimon movie 2000 War Games, not the original first one, the one that came after the series.
He means Summer Wars, people.
Yeah,
sure.
Summer Wars.
And then we'll get into Slayers from there. The Slayers, by the way.
It doesn't get its title. It's just Slayers. That is a title. It doesn't deserve its title. It's just Slayers.
Well, I had quite the week, guys, if you don't mind me telling this little story here before we get the podcast going.
Sure.
So, as you guys know, I am quite the bowling, the 10 pins and all, the giant oily balls on the hardwood. Haha, jokes. Guys with me so far?
No.
Yes.
You lost me.
Yo, I lost you. Where'd I lose you?
You lost.
Was it the hard balls or the hardwood?
You lost me at bowling, and I just felt my interest dropped.
Yeah, is there a bowling anime, JD?
No, not really.
But there's a bowling manga or manhwa.
There is, yeah. You're right. You showed me that, Tori.
Yep.
So, Tuesday, I bowl twice a week, outside of practice and tournaments. Okay? Tuesday night, I figured I'll go, I was feeling in a good mood. I'll go a little early, have a couple beers before bowling. On the way, a guy cuts across 2 lanes from a parking lot and slams right into my car driver's side door. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic. Naturally, he gets out and say, I hit him. Even though...
As one does, yeah.
As one always does when you get in an accident. It's never your fault, even though I'm on the main road and he's coming out from a parking lot blindside and hits on the side of the door.
Move sideways.
Right?
Yeah, did you not watch Riding Bean?
Oh, right, yeah.
What are you talking about? He drives a freaking Dodgem car.
But luckily, I was coming off the Retro Gaming podcast playing a lot of Burnout. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that game.
I am.
For those
I
listening,
am
for those listening, it's a game where you purposely try to come close to hitting every car imaginable. So I was my dodging skills were increased, you might say. So corner of my eye, heart skips a beat, you know, and I was able to steer just in time to the right. He did come in contact. His entire front right bumper was totally off his car, dragging on the ground. And turns out, as I went to the mechanic the next day, that they were able to just pop the impact right back out. So now there's just a little paint damage. But the story.
So from what I'm gathering, you drive a plastic car.
All cars are plastic these days. They're not the monstrosity metal death machines from the 60s and 70s anymore.
Shame.
Where the engine, if you go on a head-on collision, the engine will pop through the steering wheel and kill you.
Good times.
I mean, the airbag's there for a reason, right?
Oh yeah, that'll stop a metal engine. So, get out of the car, and I had immediately called the police to file a report, because I'm like, I gotta go bowling. I gotta get this shit done and over with. I don't want to hear anything this guy has to say. So he goes, we don't need to call the cops involved in this. I go, well, they're already on their way. And because of where I live, the cops showed up in 60 seconds. It was almost immediate. We were hardly out of our cars and exchanging information. So I go, I want your license and insurance. And he goes, well, I don't need to give that to you. And I go, yes, you do. And I plot my license on the hood of the car. And I don't pull my insurance out yet until he presents his. Well, he fumbles around in his car for 5 minutes. The cop is there. He can't find his car insurance. And he pulls out the title to the car, his inspection record from 2 years ago. And then he finally finds it. And even the cop goes, you don't keep it in your wallet? It's like, no. That's a dumb question.
Well, of course, why would you keep it close?
Right, why would you keep your car insurance on you when you're driving your car? That'd be stupid.
It's like driving without a license, you know, you don't need that.
Yep.
So he finally finds this thing and gives it to me first, not the cop, because I don't know why. And I look at the cop and I go, this expired in December. So we're in May right now. He's technically driving with a suspended license.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, and he's like, "Well, this isn't the right insurance, because it's not even the right insurance for the car he's driving. On top of it, it's for
So
this."
he's driving a Ford, blah blah blah, and the license says it's for a Golf or something.
Yeah, exactly. It was for the insurance was for a Cadillac, but it was expired, and he was driving the Chevrolet version of a PT Cruiser.
Smooth.
Basically a shit car. And cop then goes, all right, well, let me confirm that you have insurance. Let me give him the license, everything. Within 10 seconds upon, I guess, putting the information in, he goes, sir, you need to go in the back of the police vehicle. I already called the tow truck. We're going downtown. Whoa, what the fuck just happened? Tow truck is right around the block. Immediately comes and picks up the car on a flatbed, because they always do, to get more money. And the cop just goes, you can go on your way. Reports filed. Here's your copy, immediately of the number and everything. Go show up to a mechanic tomorrow. Get everything taken care of. This dude was arrested immediately. So he must have had a warrant or something for his arrest, or at least a ton of unpaid parking tickets.
Isn't it illegal though to drive without insurance over there?
Well, technically in Rhode Island, apparently it's not illegal to drive without a license. You just have to have some record in the DMV of you taking a driver's test. As some people have informed me. I don't totally believe that. That was my cat jumping all around the apartment.
Excellent. Good kitty.
Good kitty. Ruin the recording. So I go right into bowling, and yeah, my left elbow was a little dinged up from the impact, because I had my arm on the rest, and that's where the car hit. So, it was tight for a few days. So I go bowling. I'm all pissed off. I'm all hyped up. I'm drinking. Telling everyone the story, how the dude got arrested, and they're like, when the fuck did this happen? Like 3 days ago? I was like, no, it happened like 30 minutes ago.
Why are you here? You hurt your arm, did it?
Yeah, they're like, why are you here? So, second game, I go the front 8 strikes, and then everyone starts, gathering around to watch and getting all antsy and asking me, like, have you ever bowled a perfect game before? I'm like, no, I've gotten close like 13 times. Something always ends up happening, and I drop the ball in the 9th frame. Just falls out of my hand. Shit happens. And then I strike out, so, and I was posted on Discord and everything, like, almost, I missed again, what a shock. And, talking to everybody, the very next night, I go to a Wednesday night tournament, and, one partner doesn't show up, the other one is all in this, like, hissy fit mood, because we're facing off against 3 collegiate bowlers, all Americans. So think of like rising stars to be pros.
Mm-hmm.
One of them goes to University of Nebraska, another goes to Arkansas, or went to Arkansas State, and then another goes to like Weber State or something. They're all American bowlers.
Why were they in Rhode Island?
Because they live in Rhode Island, and school's over now. So they're back for the summer.
This just goes to show that I'm not American.
Same.
Right, yeah. So college is over right now. It's summer break, so they're back in Rhode Island, doing this weekly tournament league. The first couple games very competitive, and then the third game rolls around, and I get the front 8 again. And it's a battle between two of the bowlers on their team. The third person wasn't doing as good, but still very competitive. I hit the 9th frame hard, so the 10th frame is up. And if you know anything about bowling, the 10th frame you bowl on the same lane 3 times to finish out 12 strikes for a perfect game. So I go up for the first ball in the 10th. And as I'm setting up, the guy on the lane and to the left of me goes on the lane and picks up his ball as I'm taking my first step. So I'm like, well, shit. So I think of like a golfer and someone like yells in the middle of your swing. Very distracting bullshit, like motherfucker type moment.
Unless you're Happy Gilmore.
Unless you're Happy Gilmore, where you where you want that shit to happen, right? So I put my ball down. He bowls. I'm all, I'm not letting it get to me. I've been in this position many times before, but I've never finished. Right? Something always happens, just like the night before. And at this point, my left arm is like super tight. Got a nice little bruise going on the bone from the car accident. 2 lanes over now to the left, same people. As I'm taking my first couple steps, guys mirroring my motion, so very distracting for a bowler. I put my ball down, I look behind me, I go, could you guys please just let me bowl my 10th frame? Did you stop? And so they go, okay, yeah. Not as many people around because it's a much bigger league. Everyone's concentrating. It's much more competitive. And I just go, I get the first 2 like immediately, bang bang. Last ball, I throw it, and I immediately walk 2 lanes over, and I'm yelling, "Come on, ball, get it!" It hits hard, and then I woo like Ric Flair, jump in the air a little bit, and just yeah. Fucking A, I did it! Because it's eluded me for over 25 years. It's like the one bowling thing I've never done. And immediately everyone comes, gives me handshakes, what have you. Waitress comes over, you want another beer? I'm like, yes, and I want a shot of tequila immediately. And that began a heavy night of drinking. And to finish off the story is my team actually lost that game by 1 fucking pin. And I looked at my teammate and I go, what was your fucking problem? Like, I literally could not do any better.
It's like, what did you do better? Yeah, like, yep, sure, I can do that.
Yeah. So tournament sanction 300. I finally do it. I get fit for my my ring this coming week. I got first place in the tournament for the night. A lot of the night after about midnight got a little bit hazy. I remember going to a strip club, seeing some titties bounce. I didn't get home until like 8 a.m. So it was a night of partying, to say the least. I was super happy. My brother called me from Australia. He's living in Australia right now, doing cult stuff.
Whereabouts?
Perth, I think.
That's like on the other side of the country. I don't care anymore.
Well, you wouldn't be able to see him anyway. He's busy doing Jesus stuff.
That's pretty cool.
No, it's not.
It's a matter of perspective, really.
I mean, if you want to be in a cult, that's fine.
Define a cult. I know what a cult is. Don't bother doing it. Let's just move on.
So I'm very happy. It's been a good week. Fantastic. I had to share it. I went from car accident to getting a 300 game and winning money. Car turned out to be fine. It's just one thing after another of just good luck. So I was a little bit long, but man, I was just so excited I had to share.
So next week, when everything starts going downhill, you know why.
Well, I did turn 30, so this is obviously the peak of my life now. It's all downhill from here. I can only eat Arby's and get closer to death each and every day.
We're all inching closer to death, dude. I wouldn't worry about it.
So moving on. Tori?
Before we move on, dude, did I tell you what happened to me last week?
No.
Nope.
So...
How could you not tell Tori what you did last week?
Yeah, I know.
I was talking to both of you, but alright, moving on. Alright, if you're gonna cook on a stove, or like an oven or whatever you're gonna do, would you check to make sure that it's clear before you decide to do what you're gonna do?
Like, cleared of what, grease or whatnot?
No, it's like nothing's on it.
Nah, why would you do that? Can't be asked. We gotta save time, you know?
Yeah, obviously.
I keep my pans on there. I can't be bothered to put them away and be upset.
Nice. Well, I was visiting my sister and her husband last week, and he didn't bother checking what was on top of the stove, and he decided to cook my 3DS.
Oh, that's what you meant. Wait, what was your 3DS doing on a stove?
It was the only free PowerPoint that I found in the house.
Is it an electric stove or a gas stove?
It was an electric stove.
Oh, so it just like melted into the stove?
The best part about this is, dude, like the back battery case and whatnot is all melted and it looks and feels like sandpaper. But after about half an hour and I put it in the freezer to cool it down, I turned the thing on and it friggin' works perfectly. No damage at all.
Oh wow, that's like the Game Boy that survived a missile blast.
It's made out of Nintendium. What do you expect?
Nintendium? From the planet Zanzibar.
Pretty much. And then on Wednesday night, I went to a Seether concert, which was a lot of fun. I drank alcohol and headbanged in a mosh pit. It was fun.
Well, I haven't heard of Seether in years.
Dude, it was fun. Don't judge me. It was fun.
Tori, do you have any fun stories?
No. No, I do not.
No?
Nothing fun happens here.
Well, you finished Basilisk. That's a fun story, right?
Forever ago. Alright.
What is Basilisk?
What is Basilisk? Well, Basilisk is a 2005 anime by Gonzo. That's your
You've already lost my attention.
Alright. Basically...
Go on to the next part of this. What are we up to? Digimon vs. Nah.
Not yet. There's romance to be had first. Nah. But yeah, no, but Basilisk is like I said, I'm still doing my quest, and the last show I finished on my quest was Basilisk, which is, like I said, 2005 anime by Gonzo, and it's about it's this ninja story about two warring clans, the Koga and Iga ninja clans.
Mm-hmm.
They have been at war with each other for like 400 years, and they're no longer able to fight because of the the retired shogun has ordered them to stop fighting. So they can no longer fight because of the peace treaty. But that is annulled, and they're all getting involved in a ninja game to determine the next leader, the next shogun, or whatever. I don't remember exactly what it was, but you know. So,
how important could it possibly be?
I mean, technically, it's very important. But
it's not the plot of the anime or anything. Like, it's not important at all.
So, what you have is from the Koga clan, you have Genosuke, and from the Iga clan, you have Oboro. They are in love.
Are they really, though?
They are really in love.
Like, super in love?
Like, I'm gonna marry you, and we're gonna unite the two clans.
Ooh,
kind of in love.
Dirty.
So, I'm looking at what are potentially pictures of this show on Madman, which has now been discontinued. It looks generic as hell.
It is absolutely a ninja story. It's absolutely a ninja war story. And you know what? Sitting down, I've heard good things about this. I've heard people like this show. And for the record, I like this show too. It's fun. There is one thing though that is absolutely gonna slap you in the face with how serious and dramatic this show wants to be. And then all of a sudden the ninjas are about to fight. You know, they're gonna use their Nimpo techniques. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I've heard of this before. And all of a sudden I'm like, Naruto, is this you? Because, god damn it, the abilities of these people. It's like both Genosuke and Oboro, they have abilities related to their eyes. Oboro, she is absolutely a waste of space and useless. She cannot do anything. However, her piercing eyes can destroy any Nimpo technique whatsoever just by looking at them. No one
sounds like the freaking shotgun gun from Naruto.
I know, that's why I said it. And you have Genosuke. He has his ability with his eyes, in which anyone who tries to cause him harm, if he looks at you, you can no longer cause him harm. Instead, you kill yourself.
That escalated quickly.
You try to chop him in half. That's funny because like when the first time he gets attacked, there are three random people that just jump at him with their swords like, "We're gonna kill you!" And then he opens his eyes, looks at the screen, goes like black and white and shake, and it's like, oh, he's activating his abilities. His eyes are glowing, and they all just start screaming. They're like, ah! And they put their swords to their neck, and they just fucking drag the sword through their neck, blood gushing everywhere, chops their heads off. And I'm like, ooh, I like this.
So maybe mature Naruto.
I wouldn't exactly call it mature, but it is violent as hell.
For a scale of 1 to 10 violence-wise, like, is it super violent or just like mediocre violent?
To put it this way, I want to say like what another former host of the podcast said it, and then I would agree. It's ninja scrolls, but not quite as violent. So it is not it's not on a scale of 11 when it comes to violence. It's on a 7 or 8, I would say, but it's way more violent than Naruto. So, you know, if you like Naruto and you want to see blood and guts, watch Basilisk.
So a good comparison might be then the original Berserk series?
Yes, but, you know, it's more silly and not as dark.
Right.
Yeah, I'm watching the trailer here in the live stream, and there's some swords going through heads and eyeballs and what have yous.
There's some other weird abilities as well. You had this one guy's like, I mean, the writing in this one is pretty poor in my opinion when it comes to especially the abilities and how they work in fighting, because you have one guy, he is literally only decided to be the direct counter to like 2 people, because his ability is if he touches salt, he turns into this fucking goopy mess that is literally like at max 30 minutes away from death unless he gets water. So, you know.
Weird.
Yeah, it's extremely weird. It's like, what kind of ability is that? However, it's the direct counter to another guy who is a fat guy, but he is like he's like rubber. I don't quite.
Is the other guy glue?
No, he's not glue. But what happens because since this guy's rubber, like you can do whatever you want. People try to chop him with their swords and whatnot. And the sword just like lodges into his neck, and they're like, "Ha, got you!" And it's like, "You didn't get me. You didn't even scratch me." But then this guy, they fight, and this guy he obviously turns into his goopy mess. So he goes inside of his mouth and kills him from inside. It's like that's the kind of things we're dealing with here. It's like
weird.
It's like this guy is clearly written to be just to just be able to take out two people. That is his only purpose in this show. And there's a lot of that, but you have other people. You have the Kamaitachi dude who can blow winds out of his mouth that are so hard, that are so sharp that they kill anything. You have a guy who can do the same thing as Genosuke. He's blind. I think Genosuke learned his ability from him. You have a chick who is so horny for Genosuke that she wants him more than anyone else, and because of that, she has just turned into literal poison. Because any man she is with will die from her poison. So
it sounds like it took a lot from One Piece.
Yeah, I'm looking from a lot of stuff like this. But
I'm looking at the manga for it too. There's only 5 volumes, so it sounds like it was super successful.
I mean, it's successful enough to have a second season that is going on now.
Yeah, like 11 years later.
Yeah.
No, like 15 years
like
later.
Slayers, when they made Revolution and Evolution R.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get there.
But no, honestly, like I said, I actually enjoy Basilisk. It's not a great story, and it bounces a lot from trying to be serious and trying to be funny. But just as in general, like if you just want to see ninjas doing crazy shit, trying to exterminate each other,
right,
and eventually succeeding, then Basilisk is there. It's a fun watch.
So
nothing else.
What was your initial reaction to the powers? Did you think they were cool, or just kind of ripping off other things?
Did it come out of left field?
Yes, because you have these two people that are meeting, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna fight. We're enemies. We're gonna fight." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. I wonder what they're gonna do." And then the old man extends his foot so far. It's like, fucking rock. Okay, I don't understand. He's like, his foot is just going all over the place. And this other guy's rolling up into a ball, gaining super speed, flying up into the air. And I'm like, that came out of nowhere. Like, I was expecting ninja fights, but not Naruto.
What about the romance element from the start? Does it kind of tailor off?
Well, here's the thing. When you are introduced to these characters, they're already in love. It's not like you meet them when they meet. Okay. They are already in love. They're trying to unite the two ninja clans. They are planning to get married and whatnot. And because of the peace treaty between the two clans, they have sort of gotten each other's blessings, but most people aren't happy about it. They don't want it to happen, but they can't really do anything to stop it. Okay. However, as the retired shogun decides to, and Hattori, as he's called, the guy who put in the peace treaty, as they decide that they want to see them fight for who gets, depending on who wins, that will decide the outcome of who will be in power next. They decide to revoke that peace treaty. So now, obviously, they're going head to head, and it's like they try to they don't figure out immediately. It's like the Iga clan, or some people in the Iga clan, they find out about this, but the others don't. So the Iga has the upper hand by getting a sneak attack on the Koga clan, and eventually, when everyone finds out that this is happening, obviously, Oboro and Genosuke, they have to split up, and they are now on each other's sides or on the opposite sides, but they don't want to fight each other, but they have to, and stuff like that. It tries to be a drama in a lot of cases, but it also wants to be comedy, so it's weird.
So if you want like a dumb action show, then that's probably what you would recommend.
Yes, but I mean, even still, there are some heavier elements of this, and like I said, there are dramatical parts, and it's not awfully executed, but it can feel a bit, not even slow, but it feels like it's a lot like it's not balanced properly, in my opinion.
Uh-huh.
And then you start getting into these weird moments where it's like, oh, we're towards the end of the show now, but now we're doing flashbacks to how Genosuke and Oboro met for the first time and whatnot, and it's like, you decide to do that now?
That kind of stuff's not crucial for the start of the show.
Okay.
No, it's not crucial, but it's kind of just to understand, why the fuck do they care so much about each other? Why is literally Oboro sealing her fucking eyes so that she won't interrupt his ability? Or technically she does it to not get in the way of anyone, because she knows if she has to fight, she can't fight him, but if she is able to use her eyes, she might accidentally interrupt the people of her own clan from doing what they can to survive, because she doesn't want them to die. And you also have moments where it's like, because you're introduced to this like violent murderous ninjas who seem to want nothing more to seem to be the only thing they seem to like is the blood of their enemies. And it's like, why do they care so much for these people? I mean, I know they grew up with them, but why? And it's like, you get to see stuff like
Is there a character that drinks the blood of their enemies?
Yes.
Oh, well, then it's a 10 out of 10.
She is a parasite of sorts.
Oh, it's a she. Ooh.
Yeah, she attaches herself. It's funny. She alerts in someone. She is like, she's crying because she's been captured. She's crying. She learns something. She's like, oh, I've been raped. Just kill me. I've been raped. I've been defiled. Like you no longer live. And the other guy is just like, oh, god damn it. I was gonna do that. So he's like, well, fuck it then. I'll rape her now. So he goes into rape her and he touches her all over. And she's just like, yeah, by the way, I'm a parasite, so when I'm connected to you, I suck your blood. He's like, oh no! He tries to get off her, but she doesn't get off. He can't get off her. It's like, oh no!
Like, well, I'm already here.
Well, he can't do anything.
So he claims.
No, literally. How can you get an erection when the blood is being sucked out of your penis?
There's
Tori,
more than
bring
one
up a good point.
friggin' fetish out there, dude, that I'm sure would, yeah.
Well, you need the blood to get an erection. That's the point. But there's
If
no
the blood
longer
all
there.
rushes to your penis, you can't
But
get
it doesn't. It doesn't. She creeps it from getting to his penis. They can't get an erection.
If he thinks he's got an erection, what if he takes a blue pill? Does it work then?
No, because then it was all a dream.
Yeah. Anyways.
All right.
It's a weird show.
Yeah. It sure sounds like it.
I'm more like invested now whether this dude can get an erection.
Well, you'll have to watch the show to find out.
Something tells me he does not survive.
Yep.
All right. Well, that was fun. I was hoping that you would have a lot to say about that, Tori. I'm happy with that.
I had a lot and also technically nothing to say about it.
Well, I got another question here. As I'm just gonna play a little fun drop. Here we go. I will play this. Cool. All right. So the question is from J Terra, not to be confused with our guest here. Different J.
All these J's.
All these J names. What anime rom-coms do you consider on a similar level to Maison Ikkoku? This was in relation to the person checking out my Mal page.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing that I have Maison Ikkoku highly rated. And I've been on record. We spoke briefly about a similar topic about romance anime and how Maison Ikkoku impacted me personally quite well and how good it is. But it separates itself from a lot of romance anime because of its age, because of its longevity and the payoff at the end. Everything has a purpose, and it's funny as hell, at least to me. So
it's not funny. Got it.
So a similar level, I haven't come across anything. I haven't come across a retro anime that's even close to Maison Ikkoku. And I wrote down 3 here that I've either heard that they're kind of in that realm, or I've seen, and that's Touch. It's a love triangle baseball romance anime with the heavy focus on the romance. And then Escaflowne, that's more of the fantasy action with heavy romance elements. It's not really romance focused, I would say. Would you say that, Tori? Would you agree?
Which one?
Escaflowne.
Escaflowne. I actually haven't seen Escaflowne yet.
Oh, well then. Jay, have you seen it?
Is that the one with the mecha in medieval times?
Yes, essentially.
No.
But you do know of it, so that's important. And then
I own it. It's one of those shows that I have. I just haven't watched.
Another one of those.
You telling me we could have watched Escaflowne instead of Slayers?
Shut up.
And then the third one I have written down is something that's been recommended to me as kind of a retro romance is El Hazard the Wanderers. I haven't seen it yet, but that's just from what I've heard. So, before we go into my list of romance anime I've written down from either a top romance anime lists or recommendations from the community I reached out to. Let me just finish the question, which is also as a side note, I'm hesitant to start Urusei Yatsura as from what I've heard, it doesn't have romantic progression. Is this true? If it is, do you think it'd still be worth trying if I love Maison Ikkoku? So they're both Rumiko Takahashi things, so they're very drawn out stories, mostly comedic based. I would say if you want more of the romantic part of Urusei Yatsura, I say just watch the movies. Don't watch the show. The movies are more or less they seem to be more focused on the romance aspect of those characters. So 275 or however many episodes the show is, no, there is no progression until there's only like bit episodes that has it in very Rumiko fashion. So, do you guys have anything to say over the question?
Not really, no.
Okay.
I have a question in regards to the question.
Sure.
This person actually did ask something valid because for the most part, dude, I haven't heard of any good retro romances either.
So if you noticed on the list, I put the years of all these anime when they were released. And this kind of in regards to, I think, just in the last podcast, Tori, where there was the question, what's with romance anime today?
Yeah.
Essentially. Before about 2012, 2011, around that time, romance, the romantic genre in anime just wasn't, there wasn't a lot of it. There was hardly any to speak of. It was very, very few and far between. Anime was mostly mecha, action, space. Even in the 90s, very fantasy-oriented. Magical girls, romance was never at the forefront. It was always kind of just a background type thing, at best. Tori, you've seen Macross. There's romance in it, but that's not the focus of the show.
There's also a giant tuna in space.
Right. So what I've done here is, as I said, I wrote down a bunch of these shows. And how would you guys like to do it? I just name it, and then you give it a yay or a nay?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
okay.
Sure, that works.
All right, so we'll go from release date down. And so, Honey and Clover from 2005. Yay or nay?
Haven't seen it.
All right, I give it a yay. Easily, it's a more serious romance anime, not really a rom-com about kids in college trying to just self-discovery. So
Honey and Clover, that's by the same person who made
March Comes in Like a Lion,
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I've heard fantastic things about it. I just haven't watched it.
Yeah, it's been regarded as one of the best slice of life animes of all time.
Yeah, I'll have something to say about that.
So,
I mean, we all know that K-On! Is the best slice of life show ever.
Please stop. Please stop.
Until next time, guys, I'm out.
Oh, no. All right, Nana from 2006.
Hell yeah.
Haven't seen it.
All right, I give it a hell yeah as well. Music focused, very mature. Agreed,
Not
Tori?
a happy-go-lucky romance.
Yeah.
In any way.
No.
You know, for the most part, a lot of this list is going to be haven't seen it, but heard good things about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you. I need to kind of get my shit together and watch a lot of these romance animes. I want to get more involved with the genre to have better opinion. Because let's face it, it's at the forefront of the anime community now. A lot of people are watching it. It's one there's always one show a season that's romance based, and it's always like top of the charts for most watched. So
yeah,
Lovely Complex 2007.
Heard of it? Haven't seen it.
Same. I hear good things though. It's about a short guy dating a tall girl.
Yep.
So I've heard really nothing bad about it. So that's got to mean something.
So we got to be the first ones. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anohana from 2011. So we've seen see a time skip here.
Yeah. So
Jay?
I haven't seen it.
Oh. God, you're 0 for 4, man. All right, I've seen it. I don't give it a hell yeah, but I give it a yeah. It's very good for sure.
It's a drama.
It's a drama. It has the romance focus to it. It's what you would call a tearjerker.
Oh yeah.
All right, Kokoro Connect from 2012.
I've actually seen this one.
Cool. Stay clear of the OVA. The series was good.
What was wrong with the
nothing
OVA?
Wrong with the OVA, dude.
There was something wrong with the OVA. There was a lot
There's
wrong with that
nothing
OVA.
wrong with the OVA. No, there wasn't. The OVA was fine.
The attempted rape.
It's for story development. Jeez.
Yeah.
Rape is okay as long as it's for the story.
No, that's not. It's not that. That's not my problem. The problem isn't that. The problem is just that was. It's like out of everything that show was done through the TV show, then it's like, oh yeah, by the way, here your girl's about to get raped. It's like, serious? Really?
Did she get raped? Did they save her in time? Yes, they did.
Save her. That's fine. But like, why?
So we'll put a little asterisk next to that one.
Look, I like Kuroko Connect. It's unique where like people swap emotions and crap. And to tie back to my podcast, it has wrestling things in there, like posters of random ass WWE people.
I don't disagree. I also like Kokoro Connect, the TV series.
You're just wrong, man. Moving on.
All right.
Okay, so the TV series is bad.
No, about the OVA. You're just wrong.
Say I Love You from 2012. Same year.
I'm pretty sure I know what this one is, but I'm pretty sure I haven't seen it.
It seems to fly under the radar, but it was on a lot of top lists.
Now I remember why I remember this one. I remember watching Demolition D talk about this one and how bad it was.
It seems to make a lot of lists, though. So I haven't seen it either. This is the second one on the list I haven't seen. So abstain. Golden Time from 2013.
Golden Time, yeah. Well, I mean, if you know me, you'll know that this is my favorite romance. So I'm gonna give it a no.
This is my favorite one. God, this show sucks. I love watching it just to see how bad it is.
No, it's actually really good. The romance, like, just the relationship in that show is some of the best I've seen in anime.
It's yeah.
Nope, you go ahead first, JD.
Yeah, it's like Lovely Complex with me. A lot of people recommend it. Heard nothing bad about it, so.
Kagakoko's hot as hell.
Right. So that's another one of those shows that I own, but I haven't watched. So Tori, why should I watch it?
If you're interested in romance and you want to see somebody that is not in high school but they're in college, so they're technically adults, and they're going through all the stages of being in a relationship. There you go.
Does it end?
Yes. You could debate. There's a debate on whether or not that ending is good, but it does end.
All right. I'll check it out maybe one of these days. See, yeah, one of these days.
I'm right there with you, Jay, actually, with one of these days. Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun from 2014.
Okay, see, here's the thing. I love Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun for the comedy.
Oh, not the romance.
But if you're looking at this from a romance perspective, I've got to say it's like, I mean, like it's funny because they play the romance part as the romance part is part of the joke, and they're kind of making fun of the typical tropes of romance, which is why you are obviously dealing with a super dense main male character who is literally never going to make a move because he doesn't understand that this girl likes her. He's just like, wow, she wants to help me. What a nice girl.
Is this the show where everyone thinks that he's ignorant?
Yeah.
It's the one with the main character girl has like the polka dot bow.
Yep. Isn't he like a mangaka or something?
Yeah.
He is a shoujo mangaka, yeah, because he apparently he really understands girls, except he doesn't actually understand girls. He just somehow manages to write shoujo manga.
Maybe he is a girl.
I mean, that is the biggest girl I've ever seen, but all right.
It's the girl from Lovely Complex and had a sex change.
Hey, no, that is a girl. I'm ashamed of myself as a man. Because I'm like, God damn, that girl is manlier than I'll ever be. In terms of physique, at least.
Alrighty. Yona of the Dawn from 2014. Same year.
No one wants to go first? I'm going to go first.
I haven't seen it. I got nothing to say about a lot of these.
JD?
It's something I've been meaning to watch because I've heard it be compared to 12 Kingdoms, but more of a focus on the romance rather than the fantasy.
These guys. Yona of the Dawn is good. Good show. It has, I would say it has kind of like reverse harem elements because it's one girl and there's a lot of guys.
Sure.
But, I mean, apart from that, it doesn't really, like, it doesn't have the typical, reverse harem thing of the guys being interested in the girl and also kind of gay. So you don't have to deal with that.
Kind of gay?
Yeah, a lot of reverse harems. The boys are like, we want to get with this one girl, and it's like, well, we could share her and like just all have sex.
So it's like a bayless porno. Gotcha.
Yeah,
exactly. But yeah, no.
Bro, why would we go out with a girl? We could just, bang each other. Why cut out let's just cut out the middle person.
Yona of the Dawn is not like that. Yona of the Dawn is like Snow White with the red hair, but it came before it, and it's better.
Well, we're almost there. I can't understand what my husband is saying. Also from 2014.
I haven't seen it.
Me neither.
Yeah, like if you listen to him, maybe you can understand what he's saying.
Oh well. Tori's not my husband, so it's okay. I still understand him right now.
Okay.
He just needs to say yes. I mean, my God.
No.
I'll never get an answer from him, just like most anime.
Yeah. I mean, like I've heard if I can't understand what my husband's saying, it's a short if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah.
By the same mangaka who made the original manga for Dragon Maid, but Dragon Maid didn't exactly make me want to jump on watching this show. So.
All right, Snow White with the red hair from 2015, which you just mentioned, Tori.
It's like Yona of the Dawn, but not as good, and I haven't seen it.
I thought you said that this was better than Snow White.
No, yeah, Yona of the Dawn is better than Snow White.
No, sorry, I thought you meant like the other way around.
No, I also haven't seen Snow White with the red hair. So
then what you're saying is purely by speculation. Like you don't know until you see it.
I know. I'm doing it to trigger people because I know people that like this show a lot.
My Love Story from 2015.
I
give it a no, actually.
I do
Is that
too.
the one with the big dude with big lips?
Yes.
Yeah. It's the one that's like, it's the one where everyone recommended it because it was like, well, they get together like really early, like they do in Golden Time. And I'm like, that sounds interesting. And they do, but just like all romance anime, even though most romance anime is like, they never get together until the final episode. Here they get together in like episode, was it like 2 or 3?
Yeah,
like,
it was immediately.
Right away, and then nothing happens. It's like you just kind of moved up the point where they get together, but still nothing happens.
I agree with you, Tori, wholeheartedly. I think it's something that's fresh in everyone's mind, and I don't know if it's gonna hold up in everyone's mind as years go by, but that remains to be seen. So
I don't hear people talking about it anymore. So
right, exactly. Wotokoi from this season has been coming up quite a bit.
Yeah, I was thinking about watching that, but I decided not to.
Clannad from 2000. Now I have asterisks next to these other two because they're very divisive. Clannad from 2007.
Yeah, I like Clannad a lot. So yeah,
Are you counting After Story in this or just Clannad?
Both.
I like them both. They're pretty good.
So two yeses and a no. So, Your Lie in April from 2014.
This and Clannad are two of the only anime that have ever made me cry.
Ooh. Ooh.
I give a yes to Your Lie in April.
I give a hesitant yes.
I also give it a yes. It's a solid show.
I think that was the only one on the list that all three of us had seen and pretty much gave a yes.
Shit, I'm changing my answer. No.
Oh no, it's divisive again.
Nah.
So I reached out to BCom from the Nerdum and Other Nonsense podcast, Tori.
Okay.
And he gave his top 5 just for us.
All right.
He says, no particular order. Nozaki-kun, My Love Story, Toradora.
Oh, why didn't we mention that? Apparently that's a good show.
Toradora could be better.
Could be better. Nisekoi.
Golden Time. Oh, just to kind of quickly go back, that because I'm glad you mentioned Toradora, because if you like Toradora, watch Golden Time. It's by the same mangaka, or I guess Golden Time.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that actually.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Nisekoi.
Nisekoi's funny, but that second season, fuck that second season.
I think if I remember correctly, when he told me Nisekoi, he goes specifically only season 1.
Yeah.
Wasn't this conversation happening when Sue was in there as well?
Yes.
Yeah, he did say just season 1 because I was there and I was just throwing random ass stuff at you like Orino.
Orimo.
Tori, isn't there another Orimo-like anime you want to recommend?
There is. It's called Eromanga Sensei. And if incest wasn't enough for you, how about underage incest?
I had to say it.
Yeah.
And then the last one was Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches.
Now see, that one is a good one.
I've read the first 5 volumes of the manga and it seems alright.
Good. The manga is the best one.
That's usually how it goes.
Yeah, well, not with me. The thing is, the anime is mostly just like a short sum up of some of the things that happened.
Right.
But so that always pulls the anime down. But the anime is fun. The manga is way more funnier. I think the biggest downside to me with the manga was that after you get to the halfway point, it resets and starts again.
Ooh,
right.
But it managed to pull itself together and kind of make an interesting thing out of that as well. So overall, I say it's a good manga. So yeah, I would recommend the manga for that one.
Oh, it's good to hear. So I took all the recommendations from within the community and got the top 5. All right. So this isn't from us. This is from all of the other peoples. Lovely Complex, Yona of the Dawn, Snow White with the red hair, Yamada and the Seven Witches, and my teen romantic comedy Snafu.
That one. Good job. I like that. I like people that say that. Snafu is great, honestly.
Yeah, I have it on DVD. I just need to get my act together and watch the sucker.
Yep, you should watch
it.
Speaking of which, I also got Golden Time on DVD getting into the mail. It was on the sales.
Sounds like you're in my world as well too, dude.
Oh yeah, so doing an anime podcast really gets me watching anime I've needed to watch for quite some time, such as Slayers. I've needed to watch it.
You haven't needed to watch.
I'm so glad I watched that before this, so I can watch it again.
Can I just point out something here?
Sure.
Neither Clanad or Your Lie was on the list of the community, which is interesting because they're two of the best known romantic shows.
But they're very divisive.
True, but I'm just surprised that neither one of them was on the list.
Well,
I'm surprised Clanad isn't here.
They weren't on the top
Lovely
5.
Complexes.
They did crack a top 10.
Yeah, but for a top 5, everyone points to freaking Clanad as one of the best romantic animes of all time.
Well, maybe maybe the community is a bunch of smarks now.
I think the only thing I can think is just the fact that we're kind of moving on. It's the Clanads and whatnot. That's the love child of the previous anime generation, not necessarily the generation, but the people that got into anime when I got into anime. That was Clanad, that big thing, and now it's something else.
Yeah, because four out of 5 of these are a lot more new.
Yeah,
they're newer than Clanad. You might be onto something with that, Tori. But I was also surprised by Lovely Complex.
Or maybe this anime community at the moment just doesn't know Smark.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, that brings us to an even more divisive topic. You guys ready for this? I'm gonna play a drop. What kind of drop should I play? Should I play Rock the Dragon?
No, okay, that works. I was gonna say Digimon or Pokemon opening, but that works.
We're gonna rock the dragon here. Because I felt like it. So, Pokemon versus Digimon. Boys, we're here. We've done it. Time to make people angry.
So, I am a Digimon person. You guys?
I'm also a Digimon person.
No, I'm not. So I'm the only Pokemon guy here. This is good.
No, well, when I say I'm a Digimon person, I love the Pokemon games. Hell, I love the Pokemon anime. I've watched most of that, watched most of Digimon as well. Just Digimon is more in depth than Pokemon, and that's kind of why I like it more.
Ooh.
See, I'm kind of the same, but not really. What I like is Pokemon was a thing that I loved as a kid. I loved the TV series, and I played a bit of the games. As I've grown older, I really lost all my love for Pokemon, and now I don't care about anything related to Pokemon. Digimon is kind of the same, but I decided to rewatch Digimon. I've also tried rewatching Pokemon, but I decided to rewatch Digimon and to see if, because I remember as a kid, Digimon was a lot more, was to me always the show that I was like, I love this one the most. I want to go back and see it. Am I justified that? Is it as good as my kid brain remembers to be? And of course, I was met with the realization that no, it isn't. But it's fine.
Still pretty good though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
So 2 questions from that. Number 1, which season of Digimon did you go back and watch? And number 2, where did you drop out from Pokemon?
I dropped out from Pokemon at I think I don't remember exactly. I could never move on from Gen 1, really. That's when Gen 2 and Gen 3 and stuff. I know people like Gen 2 a lot, but I just kind of lost interest in that. Digimon, I've watched. I mean, as a kid, I've watched Digimon Adventure. I've only watched Adventure, but I watched Digimon Adventure 1 and Digimon Adventure 2. But so far, I've only rewatched Digimon Adventure 1. I was planning to rewatch Digimon Adventure 2 when they announced the Digimon Adventure Tri movies.
So good.
But I don't know. I watched I watched Digimon Adventure 1, and then I watched War Game, and I was kind of like, yeah, I don't really feel like watching more Digimon for now. So.
You gotta do it, dude. Go watch season 3. Tamers is the best season.
All right. Maybe someday.
Add it to your quest story. Add it to the second quest.
Am I gonna make another quest? Shit, I have 4.
So
the quest of Digimon.
I dropped out of the Pokemon anime when I got into high school. So I think, yeah, I watched it through. Well, it started when I was just about entering junior high, because that's when the game came out.
Wow,
and then the
you're a
anime
lot
came
older
out
than
shortly
me.
after.
That's
Old man
weird.
JD.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm older than you guys. So then, in junior high, it was Gen 1 and 2. So I think that's when I fell out of the anime. I fell out pretty early on, but I kept playing the games for a while, and then I fell out of the games. As I was in high school, I also moved to Germany, so I only kept replaying the same games I had. It wasn't until the last few years that I got back into the later games for the 3DS and what have you. Now Digimon, I was always aware of it. That was what the even younger kids, the elementary kids were watching. So we're all aware of it, but in my age group, we're all like, well, that's just the Pokemon knockoff. You know, I did remember when Digimon first came out with the little Tamagotchi things, the little square blocks.
I love those things. Mine got confiscated from me like the first day I had it at school.
I did have one of those, and that was super fun. Like, the 1 year I rode the bus to school, play those. We would battle each other to and from. And yeah, they were banned like pretty quickly, so we'd only play at like recess or what have you. But then as soon as I got to junior high, those weren't cool anymore. That's what elementary kids would play with. You know, that you need to you know, put your Pokemon cards away and just play the game, or you know, what have you. So, and it was the morning cartoon show. Digimon wasn't, or it was on later because elementary kids would go home later as well. Or go to school later.
That is true. Like, I think one of the things that's interesting, because like I watched a lot of Digimon Adventure on TV, but I would always watch that after school. Pokemon, because I was crazy as a kid. Pokemon was the sort of thing that came on here in Norway at like 6 a.m. on Saturday, and I would wake up for that every single Saturday to watch it. Until I eventually got older and started to realize that I like sleeping, and I was like, yeah, I can.
Well, see, I always had, it was very much the same here in the United States with Pokemon being on super early Saturday mornings. It was 7 days a week in the morning. No, 6 days a week. I don't think it was on Sundays. But I'd wake up early for bowling, and Pokemon was the thing on TV at that time as well. So, I wasn't even exposed in my life for Digimon. Neither did I have any reason to watch it. So, going into the podcast, I have never seen any Digimon. I've only played the little Tamagotchi.
Oh, you disappoint me, good sir.
Yeah, same.
So, this was definitely quite the experience, and if you were paying attention to Discord or Twitter, like I had quite a lot of thoughts going in, like as I was watching the 40-minute movie. So, so we went over to all that. You guys want to talk about the Digimon movie first, or the Pokemon movie first?
Hang on.
Or do we have other things we want to talk about?
I was gonna say, just to give a quick rundown of like my experience with both. Like I've seen everything up until like the last season of Black and White for Pokemon, and I've seen most of the movies, played all the games, at least one from every generation. Digimon had most of the different Tamagotchi things, and I've seen seasons 1 through 4.
Mm-hmm.
And the movies.
Yeah. I also can just mention, since I knew we were doing this, I decided to go and look through some of my cage stuff that I've sorted in like drawers and whatnot at the bottom today, just to see what I still had. And I realized that first of all, I've apparently thrown away all my Pokemon cards, so that made me a bit sad. I don't remember doing that, but
I feel your pain, dude. I feel your pain.
Yeah, what I found instead was like I opened the drawer and I found a couple of like early 2000s books and magazines and comics and whatnot, and that was kind of interesting. So because I found like the those like Dark Horse colorized, a Dark Horse published colorized Digimon comics that I apparently own 2 of.
Oh wow,
that's cool.
You're going down memory lane.
Did you read it or?
I've read it. It's exactly it is. It's basically just the anime. It's almost like they're just fucking taking snapshots of Digimon Adventure Season 1 and painted it in there. But it's like, okay, yeah, I remember this. That's cool.
Did you guys say Pokemon is the best anime based on a game?
Yeah, probably. It's one of the only good thing, like yeah, you know what I'm trying to say.
Sure.
Danganronpa.
If we can call it good.
But there's like, you have others. You have Danganronpa. You have the Persona franchise. I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Like, I would rather play Persona than watch Persona.
I agree, but like, come on.
I would definitely rather play Pokemon than watch Pokemon these days. But when I was a kid, that was the shit. It was awesome. Like, it was perfect for a Saturday morning cartoon show.
The first like red, blue, yellow, green, whatever you want to like call the first generation, is wrapped up in like 60 odd episodes.
No, I think it was like 170 or something. No, you're right. You're right. It was tied into Johto as well. I think that was 170.
The Kanto region's like 50, 60 episodes, and then like everything after that goes up. Like friggin' the bloody Ruby and Sapphire generation's like 4 seasons.
Yeah, I never saw that.
And like one of the seasons is like the Battle Frontier. So like they go through the first 3, which is Pokemon Advance, Advanced Challenge, and then Advanced Battle. They do the league at the end of that. And then like they separate, and then the next episode they come back together, like May, Max, Brock, and Ash, and then like Ash embarks on the Battle Frontier thing and blah blah blah.
Well then, how do you like that, Tori?
I remember Pokemon.
Sorry, but
still going. No. This is great. That's why you're here. Yeah.
I thought I was here to suggest bad animes to watch, you know?
Well, that too. Now shall we get into the movies?
Sure.
I guess.
All right, Jay, would you rather talk Digimon or Pokemon movie first?
I have a better remembering of the Pokemon movie, so we'll talk about that first.
Okay. So the Pokemon, the first movie, came out in 1998. More or less a conglomeration / alternative telling of the game mixed in with the anime, resulting in the whole Mew versus Mewtwo, super rare space Pokemon against science Pokemon that it's based on.
Mew is like not a space Pokemon, dude. It's like an ancestral thing. Everything kind of descended from Mew.
Yeah, space Pokemon, alien.
I love it.
You heard me. Total smash hit in the theaters. Ending sequence was quite intense with all the Pokemon crying and Pikachu crying over Ash. Very famous scene. You'll see posts on Twitter like, remember when you cried when you were a kid and that kind of shit. Like, yeah, I mean, I saw this movie in the theater. And
I saw this movie in the theater. It was like the first movie I'm pretty sure that I actually got to choose to go see.
Oh, I hate you guys. I hate every theaters. Because I remember as a kid, I went to the theaters with my mom. I don't remember why. I never went to the theaters. I still don't go to the theaters ever. We were going to see some movie, and I see at the corner of my eye this giant poster for Pokemon, the first movie. And I'm like,
what did you say? What did you say?
Well, I don't remember. So not something interesting. That's for damn sure. But like,
did you get? Sorry.
Yeah. What happened was I see this and I asked my mom. I want to watch that movie. Can we watch it after the movie's in? She's like, no, we can't do it. And I'm like, please. She's like, fine. We can watch it after. So she goes to ask if it's possible to get another ticket for the movie. And the girl said, oh, no, I'm sorry. That was the last screening. And I died inside. My little kid self died. So I'm like, no. No.
Brilliant. That is brilliant.
I did buy the movie later. So, I own it.
JD, did you get the Ancient Mew card when you went to the movies?
No, that wasn't a thing.
Memory serves.
It was.
Yeah, it was an Ancient Mew promo card. It was like a Pokemon trading card.
No.
Oh, country sucks, son.
Maybe my brother got one. I don't know.
Is your brother younger than you?
Yes, he's 5 years younger.
I mean, maybe they looked at you and they're like, that's a bit weird.
This kid's in junior high. He's 13.
This guy wouldn't
Pretty
like
much, yeah.
Pokemon.
He's bringing his brother.
Oh god. Yeah, it's power, friendship, and pacifism. Don't fuck with science. That's kind of the two things I took that the most out of the movie. Watching it again for the podcast.
This movie taught me that cloning Pokemon in Gold and Silver makes them stronger because clones are stronger than the originals.
Obviously, and they can speak through their mind.
Yeah, that is also true, which is weird, but I know that happens.
I'm more or less curious what you guys thought about the whole Ash going in headfirst into the two death Pokemon fighting each other and then turning to stone. And Pikachu kind of like doing his little pushing Ash. Like kind of like when an animal and his master is master's just not moving. Like how'd you guys feel during that moment?
First of all, I've lost count as how many times Ash dies. Second of all, as a kid, dude, it friggin' wrecked me. I'm pretty sure. And even as an adult, like, it is an emotional scene.
It's very well done, even like when you're looking at Pokemon, because it's usually this kind of happy-go-lucky, oh, why, oh, that's crazy! Yep. They showed up again? But you just killed him in the last episode!
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, here's the thing. Even as a kid, when I watched this scene, and he ran in there, I just thought to myself, why would you do that? What a fucking retard. Why would you do that?
What are you accomplishing? No! Don't use your death lasers!
And then he goes down, and I was confused. I was like, it doesn't make sense. And then Pikachu arrives, and I'm like, of course.
Well, no, the tears and friendship revived him.
And I was stone-faced through the entire thing, even as a kid. It didn't even face me. I was like, it happens, you know. Some people gotta go. You know, that's just the way things work.
So, I like just thinking out loud here. Do you reckon that like it was both beams that turned him to stone, or like if one beam had hit him, it just would have vaporized him?
You know what? Who knows?
Yes.
That would have been funny though. I wish he would have been hit by one beam, and it just would have fucking exploded, and all that was left was dust in his cap.
Oh my god, the revamped mature Pokemon movie. Mewtwo just goes, get out of my way. Blah! Blood and guts everywhere. Pikachu?
Instead of Pokemon fainting when they're defeated, they just fucking explode blood everywhere.
Hit him with the Razor Leaf, you just see the Pokemon cut in like 6 different ways.
There's a freaking manga like that, dude. It's like Pokemon Quest or Pokemon something.
There are some fucked up Pokemon manga.
My god, a legit one too. Like it's legitimate on this Pokemon manga. Like there's a freaking armor that gets sliced in half in it. It's great.
Yeah, there's a game like that, a Pokemon game created by our lovely friends over at PETA.
I'm saying this.
I mean, I thought it was a good movie. It was definitely it definitely hit the right notes of what it was supposed to. I think that's for sure.
It does.
I watched this movie like 4 or 5 times. So
I've seen this movie countless times. Have either of you guys seen the sequel to this? Because there's actually a sequel to it.
That's the one with Lugia, right? In 2000.
No. There's another. Maybe it's an OVA or a TV special. Like they find the clones in Mewtwo on an island, and like it's another movie, and by the end of it, Mewtwo accepts Ash as a person, pretty much, and then flies off with the clones again.
No, that annoys me because I've seen, like, I don't remember if it's at the end of the movie that I own, but I've seen clips from that, and I'm like, as a kid, I never realized what I was. I was like, what is that?
Yeah, like, don't quote me on it. Don't quote me on like how the ending actually happens, because it's been a very long time since I've seen it. But there's a sequel to this movie.
Did you come unprepared?
Well, I will use the...
What do you think this is, the Golden Boy episode?
Excuse me, I'll have you know I haven't seen this since I was like 10. But you dare to come on my podcast unprepared?
Give me a minute, I'll find the damn thing.
I'm joking.
Well, I really want to talk about the Digimon movie now.
Same.
So, Digimon movie came out in 2000. This is not the first movie. This is, I guess, technically the second one, but it takes place directly after the TV show. Am I correct on that?
What are you talking about? Yeah,
No, JD, I need to talk now. I found the movie. I'm prepared now.
Okay. You
so,
can talk.
It is called Pokemon the Movie Mewtwo Returns, or Pokemon Mewtwo Returns.
Okay.
Friggin', my push to speak is being a bitch. Give me
Fair
a
enough.
sec.
So, 1:15, 33.
There we go. There we go. That's not a friggin' synopsis. That's not good. Never mind. You know what? I quit. This is Pokemon the Movie Mewtwo Returns. 2001. Blah blah blah. It's rated G in America. Other stuff happens.
So it's after the Lugia movie.
I guess so.
Because the Lugia movie, I believe, was Pokemon Movie 2000.
Was it?
I believe
Wasn't that the other one? Oh, what is that called? Hold on. I'm gonna look this up.
Oh my god, everyone's looking shit up.
Yeah, no, because I remember. Let's see.
Okay.
No,
I
Lugia
have...
was 99. The
No. Pokemon the Movie 2000 was a Lugia movie. It was Entei was the third one, which came out after the Lugia movie, because they called Pokemon 2000 because they came out in 2000.
Okay, I get it. It's that fucked up American localization again.
Okay, Mewtwo, his heart having been softened by the selfless example of the human named Ash,
the human
back in his birthland in the east of Kanto region, has now traveled to the western region of Johto in search of a location that's unreachable by the prying eyes and harsh judgments of humans. For the sake of his band of cloned Pokemon, with whose welfare Mewtwo is solely concerned, he eventually finds the perfect hideaway, a huge mountain named Mount Quina. That's a stupid name.
Sure is.
Surrounded by steep cliffs, practically impossible to scale, but on top is a forest and a freshwater lake that makes for a near utopia for all the bug Pokemon living there. This is a perfect fit for Mewtwo's band, and thus they settle at the top of Mount Quina and begin their new safe life, with Mewtwo watching over there as their guardian, as he feels he cannot belong in the world as they were not born in it. Interestingly, though, he seems particularly close to Pikachu and the Meowth clones, possibly reflecting on how important their templates were in his change of heart.
All right.
Sounds like a bunch of garbage to me.
It's a Pokemon movie. What do you expect?
Digimon the Movie, anyone?
I'm up for Digimon the Movie. War Games! / Summer Wars beforehand. The pilot, right? As how you put it, Tori?
Yep.
Now, this is the Alphamon movie, right?
This is the one with the okay, so it's a 40-minute movie.
Yes, that is.
Where the kids are on a computer, the two Digimon main character kids, I guess.
Sorry,
Matt and
I'm not
Ty.
sure about that.
Matt and Ty.
Thanks, Amazon.
Podcast's great, everyone.
Oh, really hot, top quality here. So, the kids are on their computer, and like an egg hatches, and it's this virus Digimon, and it just slowly evolves, and it eats data, and it's just basically growing and eating all the data on the internet, and then it infects every electronic and anything computer related and causes mayhem, and the kids and their Digimon dive into the computer to fight it, basically.
Yeah, and then don't they fuse and kill the thing?
Yeah, at the end.
Evolves?
Yeah, so it's the Alphamon
Yeah,
movie,
like
which is what I
special-
thought it was.
Yeah.
I don't remember him being called Alphamon, though.
I believe they're like, evolve yet again to your top form or whatever, and
yeah, no,
happens,
I know. They always do that. That's Digimon.
Yeah, it's like immediate.
Digivolving or like
just like
Digivolving or something.
Yeah, Digivolve into this now. Okay, you got it.
Yep.
And then, guys, just remember, in Digimon Adventure Try, they go even further.
Ooh,
again,
that's kind of like what Pokemon's become, in a way. With
Ash
their
is never gonna grow up.
And Ash is never gonna grow. All the Pokemon will evolve into 3 different forms, but Ash will never become never become an adult.
He will never become 11.
So you know the funniest part about this whole thing, right? Like, you know how they mention America and blah 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 in the anime, blah blah blah.
Sure.
There's actually time like frames in the first season, and there's a point in it towards the end of it where it's like 14 months after Ash embarked on his journey. So technically, he should be 11.
Well, actually, you know what? Now that I said that, if I remember correctly, doesn't he celebrate his birthday at some point? Because
I think so.
Does. Yeah. So scratch that, but he will never grow older than 11.
Like the Rugrats will never go to school.
Yes, yeah, you're right. Definitely right there. But there's probably like a freaking game theory bloody video on like how old Ash actually is.
Oh, I remember. There's a theory about him. Him being like Ash is a kid stuck in a coma, and this is just his dream.
Oh yeah, it's because he saw Ho-Oh, and Ho-Oh grants anybody that sees it like eternal happiness.
Yeah.
Oh, friggin' side note here, and I know I keep going off on a lot of those. One of the newest Pokemon movies, which is called Pokemon the Movie I Choose You, it's a freaking retelling of the Kanto League.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, weird.
Like weird friggin' Unova and black and I know Unova is black and white. Because it's friggin' weird.
I know. I heard Pikachu talks.
It does, and
like Detective Pikachu. Does he have a New York accent?
No, he just talks like,
"Hey, yo, what the fuck over here? You want me to do some Thunderbolt? Well, fuck you too."
Hey, yo, nice arms, midget.
Just like, the weirdest part about this movie is though, guys, like there's no freaking Brock and Misty in it, and it's a retelling of Kanto. Makes sense.
Yeah, no, I know, I heard that. They say it's a retelling / reimagining
/ reboot / retard
/ retard. Yeah. No, but you know what? I just think this is just like the Pokemon Company or like all or whatnot. They're just in this like, okay, you know, we're sick and tired of hearing all these fucking OG Pokemon fans going, "Oh, you don't care about us." Fuck you.
Simple enough. So this Digimon movie, back on topic here. It's directed by Mamoru Hosoda of all people. One of his first works, if I'm not mistaken.
Never heard of him.
See, told you.
Right, yeah. It's the Summer Wars, and so clearly he got the idea for Summer Wars doing the Digimon movie.
No, yeah, he ripped himself off.
He ripped himself off. He's like, I'm gonna do it again. That was fun.
It was pretty good movie too for the second time.
I gotta say, this movie has no business being as good as it is. And coming,
it really doesn't.
And coming from the fact I have never seen, I mean, I'm sure I saw like an episode or two when I was a kid. I just don't remember it. And I'm not totally out of the realm of knowing at least the generality of what Digimon is. This, you could go into this blind, essentially. As long as you know that Digimon are computer creatures and you do shit with them. Like, that's all you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was so extremely well animated. There was excellent character artwork. So much facial expression and body language. Like, all the characters always seem to be in motion and using, hands and facial expressions to describe, like, their feelings and what's going on. There's a really funny scene in the middle where they're in the middle of the battle and, the computer, they for some reason pulled the computer on the ground and the kid, like, looks over and he's, like, wincing his face and holding his pants. Dude, what's wrong? It's like, I can't hold it anymore. What? I gotta go to the bathroom. And then he, like, kind of stumbles out of the room holding his dick and almost runs into the door. And then he comes back all refreshed. Hey, what's up?
Classic Izzy, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm. It sure is. And nukes and...
Oh yeah, like things escalate very quick in this 40 minutes. It goes from the virus like coming from an egg and they're like, oh, what's that? To the virus has now infected everything and nukes are going off, threatening mankind. But everyone else is just kind of like, wow, this is a weird day.
Yeah, pretty much. Because I know Digidestined don't know what's really going on.
Right.
Yeah, you know. Humanity was saved and no one even knew it.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting.
Got away with it wasn't for those meddling kids.
Yep.
Right? The most interesting part of the movie was definitely like going back and seeing all the detail used in the electronics at the time. So like the old desktop computers, they're basically like the tubes, and then they have to use the cordless phones, and you know, the emergency messaging system still works, so they have to dial the code and everything. I remember doing that when I was a kid with friends every once in a while.
Yeah, it's one thing that Digimon does really well. Like, for the time that it come out, every like piece of technology that they need to use in that show, they do properly, and it doesn't like feel out of place.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes it. Yeah, it's very very well done. Everything in this movie was well done. Lots of attention to detail. The background art was very detailed as well. Like everything fit much more so than what we saw in Pokemon, because Pokemon looked more or less low budget to me.
I mean, the Pokemon movie doesn't fit together. Like, the first trainer that Ash fights in the movie has a freaking Dod fan, which isn't introduced for like another year or two.
Yeah, so things just clashed in Pokemon, but in Digimon, even though it was only 40 minutes, I felt like I watched like a 2-hour adventure.
The thing that always gets me with watching War Game, it's just after watching that like the original Digimon Adventure, or Digimon Adventure in general, because holy fucking hell, that also that style does not work at all.
I'm glad it's not just me that thinks it's weird looking.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, it looks awful.
The show?
Yeah, compared to the series, like, the movie doesn't look exactly good. It's just completely different animated style.
Whoa! Compared to the series, hold on. Compared to the series, like the series is the one that just had all the like fucking issues, in my opinion. Like, it's. I remember going back and watching. One of the things that always got me. There was this scene in when they're setting out on their raft out into the sea. And I remember as a kid, I got seasick from watching that sea. And I was like, I wonder why. And now that I've seen it again, I have to ask myself, I really wonder why, because it literally looks like somebody is just holding up 2 pieces of blue paper and like lifting it up and down. It's
oh no!
Like it's like, oh, this, oh no, this is not good. This is like really bad. And the amount of reused animation, and then the amount of times I got tired of seeing them evolve, because you know it's the same thing every time. At least they decided to use go into the like when multiple Digimon evolve, they would just put them all on screen and evolve at the same time. Because for a little bit they decided to do them all after each other, so you got to see the same thing again with a different model every time, and have that godforsaken song play. I mean, I say godforsaken.
That was just a bad time in the episode, dude.
I know, but like, the second time I watched it in Japanese, because why wouldn't I? I can no longer listen to dub because I'm above listening to puny English. So yeah, no. And they have by the way, the opening to the original Digimon, fantastic. One of the best opening songs I've ever heard in anime.
Wait, the Japanese one or the English one?
The Japanese one.
Listen to Japanese.
The Japanese one. The English one is awful.
Screw you. The English one's amazing.
Digimon,
it is not as good as Butterfly.
I know that one at least.
Digimon.
I love the Digimon opening, but that gives me nostalgia.
Yeah, no, it is nostalgia, at least to me. I've listened to it again. Like, I have a soft spot for it, but I'm like, this is not good. But the Japanese opening is just absolutely fantastic, and I love that song. I just hate the fact that they play it every time they're evolving. Like, I've heard this like 70 times over the last 5 episodes.
Okay, so it's not just the English one that does that then too.
Yeah. No, but it's the same thing. It's like I was patient with that when I was a kid, but now I have no patience. I'm like sitting there, it's like, stop, please. I don't need to see this every time.
Yeah, in terms, from what I can tell, in terms of the TV shows, they're kind of equal in what they do, both in the positive and negative, with a lot of rehashing.
Yeah.
I think these movies, in terms of quality, are night and day. It's just how popular one was over the other at the time.
JD, I'm going to have to disagree with you there for the series being similar, because Digimon actually has a plot that progresses for the most part, and that has a lot of dark undertones, dude. Like, if you're looking for an in-depth kid show, Digimon is the place to go to.
Yeah. Dude, again, just to kind of, because I always end up going back to the series, but I remember as a kid, like, the first time, you know, when, I forget his name, but when they defeated, like, the monkey, holy shit, what's his name?
Adamon,
that's the one. The Elvis one, yeah. When they defeat him and Tai is sent back, Tai is like sent back into the real world, or?
Yeah, that's it. Hard. That episode's devastating because, like, you look at it and he leaves his sister behind.
I know. Like, when I watched that as a kid, I had like my stomach was hurting from watching that. I felt extremely uncomfortable watching
and then,
that.
like, a little bit after that too, when they all come back to the real world and the Digimon come there with them, you got that friggin' Myotismon like just going around drinking people's blood like a vampire.
Oh yeah. No, there's some questionable stuff there for a kid's show. That is for sure. But like,
but if you're a kid, would you even pick up on those things?
Not necessarily, no. But
not necessarily, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's got a lot of adult stuff in it. Like, if you go and watch it now that you're older and you know to look out for these things, like, the show, dude, is kind of effed up.
You got one of those fucking people that are just walking the street like a stalker. He's got the trench coat and hat and everything. He's just like watching people. It's like, what the hell is this guy?
Well, he just wants to flash his penis.
He's a robot.
Robot penis, whatever.
You said we had to do what was it? Friggin' metal
something.
God, what the frick is his name?
Yeah,
it's the blue dude, and it's like on the Eiffel Tower looking thing.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. Like, there's a lot of that, and even still, like, something that I really appreciate, for as much as I hate stuck in another world kind of shows now, like, Digimon did a pretty good job of that, and it does that thing that I really like. It's first you have the Digidestined obviously being sent into the digital, but they eventually get out, and then they take the Digimon with them back into the real world. I kind of like that, you know. At first, it's them trying to get familiarize themselves with this weird digital world, and then after a certain point, it's flipped. That was the Digimon trying to get used to the real world. That's like, it's interesting.
And then, like, even after the first season ends, like, 2 of the main 8 come back for season 2 because their work's not done there, and it pretty much picks up where it left off.
Yeah, they were also very young when the first season when Digimon 1 took place, so they're technically just the right age now.
Yeah, and then, like, in season 2, they've got the Digimon Emperor there, and it's just like, it's interesting seeing what people can do to affect the Digimon in that world if somebody figures out how to reprogram them and use them for evil. Yeah, that was interesting. That's like, because I mean, the first season, I like the first season, but kind of the whole Black Gear situation was kind of weird.
Yeah. So you guys definitely gravitate towards towards Digimon over Pokemon.
I love them both, though. It's because Digimon's got like a lot more things to talk about in it.
Okay, Tori?
Yeah, no, I very much gravitate towards Digimon. I don't love it as much as I used to, but like, I'm just so done with Pokemon.
I mean,
Pokemon's definitely worn over the years, for sure.
Yeah, it has. It's like pretty much just keeps repeating its story. But yeah, dude, if you want to talk to someone about Digimon, like in a future episode, invite Andrew on, because he can go, like, just him and I have done a review for Digimon Adventure Try on his podcast, but
I've listened to that episode.
Yeah, he can go on and on and on and on and on, and if we both like are in the mood to talk about Digimon, man, like, we can get into in-depth conversations about that show.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, there's a lot to pick up on. That's why, like, even as a kid, I always kind of got to know when people are like, oh yeah, Digimon, that's just that Pokemon. And I'm like, there's so much more to it, though.
Yeah, there is. It's probably a better show. It just doesn't get recognized by a lot of people.
I think it just came out a year or two late. That was it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of shows fall in that line. Just a show we're going to talk about in a couple weeks might be a victim of that same instance. So
foreshadowing.
Yeah, foreshadowing for the next episode. So I am gonna say my opinion here. I think between the two movies, Digimon the Movie was vastly better than Pokemon the first movie, easily. And if I was to base watching the TV series based on these two movies that we more or less just briefed over, I would continue Digimon over Pokemon.
Do it.
Yeah,
that's my take.
All right. See, my problem with this becomes I am kind of having to compare a movie I watched as a child to a movie I watched fairly recently. So I like Pokemon, the first movie, when I watched it as a kid. Even when I rewatched it, I liked it a lot. War Games is fine, but like I keep joking about it being like an attempt at Summer Wars, which was later perfected. And that kind of bothered me the entire way through. It's fine for a 40-minute movie, but I don't really like it that much.
Well, what did you find wrong with it? Was it just too much too fast?
I mean, the best answer I can give you is like, it's me now as an adult trying to watch a kid's movie. Yeah, okay, that's so
right.
Grown movies. So it's like there is this disconnect, just like this isn't meant for me anymore.
All right, so this is what you do. Next time you watch a kids show, all you have to do is hit your nuts really hard. Oh,
listen, JD.
You don't like where this is going?
No, because I know you're the shonen fan. Right? So I understand that these are things you have to deal with to still be able to watch this.
Well, yeah, every time, but every Sunday night before I watch the Black Clover dub, I hit my nuts really hard. I lock myself in the closet for about 10 minutes. Nothing more, nothing less. It has to be pure dark, and then I can watch Black Clover.
How's the dub? Is it as bad as a sub?
You can watch it.
The manga's pretty good. Like, the manga is pretty good.
Oh god, I'm getting sick. Anyway, this isn't about Black Clover.
Everything's about Black Clover.
Shut up. We're going to talk about the Black Clover of the 90s, okay?
Ooh, is it? Is it?
I mean, it's bad, so...
So yeah, you prefer the Pokemon movie, do you, Tori?
Yeah, based on my nostalgia for the Pokemon movie, yes, I do.
Do I have to pick one? Because like, it's weird for me. I love Digimon and I love Pokemon.
So we got a comment from our host that isn't present. He says, "Why am I hitting my balls?" The answer to that, and the response is, "Why would you not?" Is the answer.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
But look, I guess if I have to pick one of them, I'm gonna go with Digimon because I'm just in complete agreement with JD. It is just a better movie. And if you bought that on DVD when it came out, it actually came with 3 movies on it.
Yeah.
One of them, Tori, you might be interested in, which is the actual story of Ty and Kari when they were kids, when they found the Digi-Egg in their computer.
Yeah. No, I know of them. I'm not that interested, really. It's like I said, that kind of thing. It annoyed me because I'm sitting there. I was like, so which movie is War Game? And it's like, oh yeah, that one. It's like, but what about Digimon the Movie 1? It's like, what the fuck is Digimon the first movie? And I look it up, and it's like, there are 3 Digimon the first movie. What the fuck? It's like, no, it's one movie.
Not confused at all, right?
And I'm like, why would you do that?
On the DVD, before you even like start the first movie, like first movie part 1, I guess, there's a friggin' Angela Anaconda short where they're going to go and watch Digimon the Movie. I don't know why it's there, but it's Angela Anaconda is it's a show.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Whatever. I hate American localization.
Well, why don't we move on and get to the end of this cast with a review of Slayers? What do you guys say?
No. Absolutely
All
not.
I can say, guys, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry for this.
I don't put this against you. Like I said, I watched this for my quest, so I had already inflicted this pain upon my.
What is your quest, just out of curiosity?
So that again.
What is your quest, just out of curiosity?
What was my quest?
Yes.
Okay, my quest is just what I did was I absolutely did not steal JD's idea, and what I did was I went to watch anime from like the past all the way up until today's date. No, not today's date, but like 2018 or 2017 when I started. But so what I did was like I went back to the 70s and just picked one anime from, well, at least one anime from every year from the 70s up until today. And I'm watching through everything.
Out of all the things you could have picked from the year of Slayers, why'd you pick Slayers?
Because I've heard people talk about Slayers for a long time, and I was just like curious. I thought people could recommend me a good show because everyone was like, Slayers was good. I'm like,
yeah,
I watched it, I'm like,
what is it?
It's really?
So, Slayers. Thank you, Jay, for the suggestion, by the way.
Alright, let's skip this segment and get on to the shoutouts and stuff.
Produced by JC Staff, Studio E&G Films did it. It's an adventure comedy, demon, magic fantasy, so plenty of genres for everybody.
Comedy, alright. Definitely a comedy.
Well, okay. Here's I just stopped me immediately. It says, what is demon as a genre?
Like, are we talking like the TV show Supernatural, or are we talking like...
It's like, it's one of the things like, oh, there's a demon. Well, yeah, no, I get that, but like, does that make it a genre?
Yes. So, glad I answered that. The source is a light novel of all things.
Of course.
26 episodes, TV show, aired in spring of 1995, and kind of a cult classic these days.
Yeah, it's definitely a cult.
So let me just go over. It's definitely a cult. Let me go over the synopsis here via the My Anime List. Powerful sorceress Lena Inverse travels around the world, stealing treasures from bandits who cross her path. Only once, by the way.
Yeah.
Her latest victim, a band of thieves, wait in ambush in a forest, thirsting for revenge because she stole shit from them and killed a bunch of them.
She sure did.
When Lena is about to effortlessly pummel her would-be attackers, the swordsman, the gallant swordsman, I might add, Gowry Gabrieff, suddenly announces his presence, wants to save the damsel in distress. Bit of a meatbag. We'll get into him later. Assuming Lena to be a foolish, magnanimous man, confronts the brigands, rescue her. After defeating them post-haste, the oblivious Cavalier decides to escort Lena to Atlas City. Though not very keen on this idea, she ends up accepting his offer. 'Cause reasons. However, without realizing it, Lena has chanced upon a mighty magical item amongst her spoils from the bandits, and two mysterious men are hunting her to get it from her. And that's more or less kind of the first arc to go into Slayers. Arc 1...
Holy crap.
Well, I've put it... It's really just 2 arcs. You know, your first half of the show, second half of the show, Season 1, Season 2, essentially. Arc 1, I've separated the 26 episodes into 4 pieces. Arc 1 was the introduction of Lena Inverse and her dumb, gallant soldier-in-arms, Gowry, to fighting... Zelgadis. I'm sorry. Zelgadis and his henchmen over a statue containing the Philosopher's Stone.
Oh, Jade, it's like you don't even care about this show.
He obviously cares more than we do. He split it into 4 different arcs.
So, what did you think about? What was your initial impressions over our 2 main characters here, Lena and Gowry?
Hate them.
You hate them?
I hate them.
What do you hate about him?
What do I hate about them? Well, because, see, here's the thing. I would have to say because Gowry is a fucking retard and because Lina is annoying as hell. But ultimately, they're both pretty stupid, so I feel like I can put that down to both of them. But, you know, obviously, Lina, she's a genius because, well, she's the protagonist. The protagonist has to be a genius. You know, she doesn't act like it at all, ever.
Did you know she has small tits?
Did you know she looked like a child?
No, I didn't.
Because in this first act, they sure let you know that over and over again.
Are you trying to say that this is one of those shows that think that repeating the same joke over and over and over again is funny?
Did you know that Gowry is dumb and he has a very terrible short-term memory? Jay, what did you think about our two characters? Jay, what did you think? What did you think about Lina and Gowry upon first impression?
Yep, they're definitely characters.
Okay.
Are they? Are you sure?
So, as we learned very fast, there is somewhat of a story here, and it's progressing for the most part. But as for character development, no.
Who needs character development? All you need to know is they are currently located in somewhere.
Atlas City.
Well, in this case.
Not, but yeah, they're somewhere. They're somewhere. And they're trying to get to somewhere.
And along the way, they want food.
They do want
They're
food.
always hungry, and Lina can eat her fill like Goku from Dragon Ball Z.
So
that's another thing I hate about the show. It's got freaking Dragon Ball Z sound effects in it.
They talk to the same guy. Nice.
Yeah, so Zelgadis and the henchmen basically confront Lina, and Lina at first is really sly and comes across as a smart girl and very
yeah, she likes undercutting people, and she actually does. She's kind of smart at the start of it.
Yeah, Gowry comes and she's like, all right, that's I'll use this opportunity to take advantage of the guy, and I'll just use him for what he's worth, and then I'll ditch him later. They end up getting kind of...
Oh. Jedi, just throwing this out there as a side plot. Is she smart compared to Gowry?
Well, everyone's smart compared to Gowry. If you can remember what you had for dinner, then you're good. Zelgadis wants to buy it. They end up having confrontations in episodic form of them fighting against each other. But moving on, Arc 2 then goes into... they get to a new town, and they meet Rezo the Red Priest. He's one of, I guess, top 3 sorcerers on the planet. He mysteriously disappeared. But yet he shows up conveniently now because of Lina being chased by this guy, and he tells her of Zelgadis wanting to use the Philosopher's Stone to bring back the big bad evil demon that will destroy the world called Shabernigdo. And by the way, these names in the show are ridiculous.
Yeah, we probably should have mentioned that there was like a demon that was unkillable that was split into like 8 pieces.
Yeah. They don't mention that until just this moment, though. When Rezo shows up, he kind of says all that.
I thought it happened earlier than this. Never mind.
Yeah, no, they don't. I don't think they mentioned Shabernigdo until just that moment. And in form of the show, what they always seem to do is when you need to know pieces of information, here's Gowry just going, "I've never heard of it," and Lena's like, "You've never heard of the evil demon villain that everyone's parents used to tell children growing up?" And he's like, it sounds familiar. Why don't you just inform me?
Yeah, exactly, JD. He is used to inform the audience. That's why he's retarded. That was weird hearing entire time.
It's weird hearing Brock, though, as a retard instead of the guy that knows everything.
I don't know.
Or, the other thing they'll do is, in this case, when Rezo shows up and talks about Shabernigdo, Lena will respond with Shabernigdo, and then go into the whole history of him as she's like telling Rezo like he's never heard of him before.
Plot twist.
She's kind of smart. That's the plot twist.
Oh, actually, I don't. No, yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll definitely get there. So, the rest of the arc is newsflash: Rezo turns out to be the bad guy, and Zelgadis turns out to be the good guy. Really?
Whoa.
Rezo wants to see. Here's the thing, guys. He wants to see really, really bad. Okay, follow me so far.
Blind or something?
Yeah, he's like blind.
Why
Like,
don't you just
like
get,
totally not
surgery
seeing.
on his eyes or like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, they got magic and stuff there. I'm sure they can heal.
So his
Nobody
brilliant
tried.
idea, because he's mad and wants to see stuff. He wants to use the Philosopher's Stone and get the power of the demon that will destroy the world, that will totally not betray him or kill him or anyway, or have any repercussions.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Just so he can see.
If Harry Potter told me anything, he'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine, right? He's not fine. He gets absorbed by the demon, and Lena and Gowry and Zelgadis and company fight him. I was actually surprised when the henchman just got straight up vaporized by Shabernigdo. Like, you just die. Just bam, gone.
Yep.
I was like, cool. I was really expecting them to come back at any point in the series in the future, but it never happened.
Just out of curiosity, because I know that you're enjoying the start of this show. How far was it until you realized that it was crap?
When we met Amelia.
Justice.
I am the warrior that will stand upon this tree for the name of justice.
I fucking called it as well when she was standing there. Like, she's probably gonna like fucking land on her face when she jumps down from that tree. She did. I'm like, yeah, I'm not even surprised. You can't even get me
Tori,
with your fucking jokes.
How long did it take Tori to realize this show was crap?
Episode 1.
Episode
Good
1.
man,
Oh, come
good
on.
man.
Episode 1 wasn't bad.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I watched like the first, I want to say 15 episodes in a matter of just a few days.
Oh, you poor man.
And then it took a while after that.
When you say a while, what is a while?
It took me the rest of like the 2 weeks.
Oh,
That's not that bad.
Yeah, because I remember like when I was sitting in the airport waiting for my flight, you were like, "This show's really good. I don't know why you don't like it." And I'm like, "Just wait, just wait."
What threw me off was, okay, so Arc, they beat Shabernigno because Lena gets crazy demon summoning magic powers, and they combine with the power of believing, and they beat him, and they're like, "Whew, that was a close one. Moving on, next arc."
It almost seems somewhat convenient, doesn't it?
The show is built on 100% convenience.
Nah, there's no convenience here. Everything is
So-
carefully planned out by Lena Inverse because she's a genius.
Oh god. She has this amazing. Oh my god! I forgot to mention that there was a line in in an episode where they're escaping Zelgadis, and Lena all of a sudden can't really use her powers anymore, and Gowry goes, "That time of the month, right?"
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because when a woman has her period in the show, she can't use magic anymore.
It's a fucking thing. I am so. Why? I guess like you. It's not like you're not allowed to do that, but it's just like, for what fucking purpose?
Because Tori, a woman having her period, is hilarious.
No, I know. I laugh every time, but like. Okay. The thing is that annoys me. It's just like, fucking yeah. No, she has her period, so she is now useless. Well, great. What is this going to be used for? Well, it's going to be used for so that she can be captured and then get freed. Interesting.
Indeed.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I forget when it's discovered that Gowry's sword he's been carrying around is actually the legendary Sword of Light. Just again, convenient that this dumbass has this ancient weapon that's killed
He just forgot about it. Okay.
A crazy demon called something or another, Xanafer, that's what it's called. That comes into play later, actually. So, Arc 3, you meet Amelia, the fighter of justice, believes in justice. Justice. But wait!
Who falls out of trees.
But wait, when they get to town, where Amelia's from, there's a bunch of wanted posters out for Lena and Gowry. And let me start off by saying here that they probably should have wanted posters around, because they've committed murder and blown up towns along the way.
Mm-hmm.
They should be wanted, right?
Yeah.
But then when I thought about it again, well, maybe they're not wanted because anyone that's seen them probably doesn't live to tell the tale.
Probably not.
And then so these two dudes show up and they want to capture them and take them to a town called Cyrag. And Lena and Gowry want to go there anyways to find out why they are wanted. So from this point on until I want to say the last 5 episodes is more or less like a Saturday morning cartoon fighting show, just to see what the fuck is going on. Very slow.
Next time on Slayers.
Yeah, it was very much in that realm, but I thought it was more along the line of kind of like this Scooby-Doo nonsense going on all the time with the constant puns and joking and
the running back and forth between doors and just coming out random places.
Yeah, that's exactly what it reminded me of. I'm like, okay, it's not. If I was 10 or 13, this, I'd be all over this. 30 years old, maybe not so much.
All downhill from here.
Oh God, Tori, what were you going through at this point when you met Amelia of all people?
Well, I mean, like I said, I was just like, okay, we have a champion of justice. Interesting. She's probably gonna fall on her face. She does. And then and it's like, okay, so she's so she's just gonna be an annoying character that follows them around everywhere because she's the champion of justice. But then, of course, the posters appear, and she's like, well, I gotta capture you now because you're bad.
That shit was funny. I thought that was pretty funny though. She immediately switches sides.
Yeah. Nah, not really. I'm just saying that it's like, oh, okay. So she's not gonna follow them around. Then they finally manage to come in. Why would we be bad? And I love that. Why would we be bad? And it just lists up a whole bunch of reasons for the bad shit they've done just when she was there. And it's like, okay, but ignore that.
Yeah, they're not bad people. They're not murderers. They're not thieves.
Have we ever killed anyone? Yes. Well, apart from the time we did. Have we ever killed anyone?
What about that other time? That doesn't count.
It was self-defense, I swear.
What have we ever done that's so bad? Well, you've wiped out towns, you murdered people, you steal, you... It's like, okay, I get it.
You've skipped out on your bill. Which I'm pretty sure they did countless times. I never saw them actually pay for anything.
I know Lena did at least.
Yeah.
I know Lena did at least once. She's gone.
All right, so then so they get to Cyrad, and this is Arc 4. They meet Gowry's childhood friend named Sylphiel, but of course he has trouble remembering her. What he does remember is she used to cook food for him.
That's important.
That's important because woman.
Also, the show's based around food.
There's a lot of food, a lot of food being taken in to the belly tummies.
It's
so
food wars.
You also meet a crazy woman named Eris who loved Rezo, loved him so much that she made a copy of him.
Woo!
And she's also a sorcerer's chick.
Not rapey at all.
It's fine. She's a woman.
Yeah, so basically, she took Copy Rezo and like spread the rumors that they actually did all this, and everyone's like, well, I mean, this guy Rezo's a good source. There's no no ID on him or anything. He just says he's Rezo, so wanted posters everywhere. All right, cool, whatever. Lena and company want break into like the castle area, and they want to find Rezo's legacy. They don't know what it is, but they go down a bunch of stairs for a while. They end up coming across a stone magic tablet and a chicken. Talking chicken. Chicken's not important.
Nah.
So, the chicken does have a line, though, that says, when they do find the magic tablet and it, like, conveniently falls into their hands, the chicken does say the line. I cracked up at this. Why does everything just conveniently fall into these idiots' hands?
Because the show's bad. It's written that way.
So, Eris steals the tablet, and then Rezo betrays her because he wants to be a real boy. He doesn't want to be a copy. And
I can get behind that. I too want to be a real boy.
Sure, yeah. He doesn't want. No woman's gonna keep this guy down.
Exactly.
And when she copied him, she also made him blind.
You know what? You're right. That is actually kind of fucked up. How do you do that? How do you make him blind?
Yeah, like, you think that if you're gonna make a copy of someone, and like, yeah, that is really effed up.
No, nah, she loved everything about him, including the fact that
including the fact that he couldn't see her.
you need to be blind.
Yeah.
Like that.
Well, apparently the whole thing was because he was a copy, he was under her power. So then, when the stone was gotten, he betrays her and frickin' just straight up kills her. Blood everywhere.
Got him.
Yeah, got him. And Rezo absorbs. There's like the demon Xanafer like in the area, I guess, just hanging out, and he absorbs this demon now. And if you remember, Xanafer was the supposed demon that the Sword of Light killed.
Speaking of Sword of Light.
Okay.
No, nothing.
Okay. Well, big battle ensues. No one can stop Copy Rezo. Even there's a point where Lena gets shot with like a big laser beam thing through her stomach, and she basically dies, but the power of believing and friendship and under a tree, Silphiel heals her. A couple comedy elements, like bangs her head against the tree and whatnot. And a sword magically falls into their head, and it's the Blessed Sword, where here's another moment when she goes, oh, the sword, this is the sword I stole from, like, the church when I was 2, and then I hid it in the tree, and then just didn't admit to hiding it there, and then I forgot about it. But here it is now, yay!
Convenient.
And,
Not at all.
Of course, they use that, they do a bunch of magical powers in the sword, and kill Copy Rezo with the demon in him.
No, but don't you remember he was afraid of that tree? That's why he didn't get close to it.
Right, of course.
That's very important. That's why they spare him to the fucking tree.
Can we end this now? Like, Slayers, we're done, right?
So, I thought everything was okay at best from the music to animation. The
animation was awful.
I think for 1995, it was okay at best.
Yeah, I was going to say, for 90s animation, it was fine.
I hate it. I've seen better 90s animation.
Like what?
Like everything that's in this.
Like everything. For a shonen type show, I thought it did it. I think animation wise, they used a lot of rehashing, such as when she was casting spells. They obviously cut corners with a lot of like facial expressions and the doofy little just dots for eyes. But that was very 90s at the time. Like Tenchi Muyo did it a lot of the time. Yu Yu Hakusho had stuff like that going on. But don't get me wrong, Yu Yu Hakusho was much better animated than this. That's for sure. That was 3 years before this.
Yeah. Apart from those couple moments, but yes.
Sure. What'd you feel about the character art Even if it was from the mid 90s, guys.
It's unique. Like, there's nothing that looks like it, which is kind of cool.
Well, before this, the closest character art I could think about was the middle arcs of Yu Hakusho. But no, like, for a fantasy type show, I can't really pinpoint anything that comes to mind around the time that reminded me of the character art. I thought it was very unique as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Did the constant puns and cheese jokes from start to finish wear on you? Like, how fast did it wear on you? Was it immediate?
I mean, considering the fact that I didn't laugh a single time, yes. I didn't find the joke funny the first time. I sure as hell didn't find it funny the 100th time.
See, I noticed something when I was watching it, that in each of the like 4 arcs, the cheese I thought was they chose something else to do that to each time. Like, once arc 1 was done, we never heard about Lena having small tits or her period happening anymore. It went on to something else.
Until season 2, that is.
Well, I'm sure they, got to remind the new viewers coming in case you forgot. But we're just talking about season 1 here. I thought, Tori, I'm curious, did you watch the English voice acting or the subtitle?
Of course, I didn't watch the English voice acting. Why would I do such a thing?
What about you, Jay? What did you watch?
Dub.
Dub. I also watched the dub.
What did you think of the dub? I thought the dub was an experience. Like I said, interesting hearing Brock play a dumb character.
I liked Lena. I really liked Lena as a character. I think she's fun. I think a female lead. It was always kind of Gowry seemed to be the damsel in distress, or she would use him. I like that about her. The voice acting I thought was okay. It was very 80s, 90s of it. It was very much in the same realm of Yu Hakusho's kind of dub. But because there was so much cheese in the show, it made the voice acting seem not as good. If that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. So bad voice acting. Got it.
There were 2 characters. There were 2 characters always at some point going on in the show where the voice acting that they were using for the characters, such as Zelgadis, he's the best example because he's a recurring character throughout the season. Is he talks really low and soft and kind of monotone, and you don't really hear him too well. And Rezo was the same way. His voice actor, I swear, changed in the second half of the show. And then...
Probably did.
Huh? Excuse me?
Probably did.
Probably did, yeah.
The original guy they got probably couldn't even be asked to show up anymore. I quit.
And then Sylphiel, the girl we meet at the end of the show, she was a real soft, low talker and kind of a ditzy girl character. She played that kind of damsel in distress type person. She talked really low, so I don't know what the deal was with the low tone voice acting in the dub.
Were they voice acting recorded from inside their?
They were inside a car, most likely.
Okay, even better.
All right. Yeah. So here's the big question: what would have made this better for you guys?
If it was good.
Please elaborate. Humor me.
Well, you know what? I don't know. Like, it's I'm not a mark for this kind of thing. Shonen, like fantasy, adventure, repeat comedy, just slapstick. That's not me. So it's like the only thing I say, to make this show better for me, you'd have to make a completely different show.
I think, now, you see me out here because this might not be popular, but amp the craziness up like by another 10%, maybe 20%, and then throw in, like, randomly, You look up and bam, there's a big dude in the sky, and there's like a dice landing, and bam, it's a D&D campaign, a very poorly written D&D campaign.
But why wouldn't you rather just watch Record of Lotus War then? Like, come on.
So that was definitely something the show reminded me of.
This show is stupid enough to be a really bad D&D campaign.
Yeah, but that Record of Lotus War is a D&D campaign.
Yeah, but Record of Lotus War is actually kind of good.
Yeah, but that's the point. I thought that was what we were suggesting.
All right, we're trying to fix the show, not break it even more. Sorry,
Right.
my bad. I'm sticking with the D&D idea.
I think lay off on a lot of the repeated jokes, for sure. I think of the time, like, you know, the small tits and the whole period. The period thing, like, really caught me by surprise. I was like, no. I was joking in my head. I was like, ha, she's on her period. And then that was actually the thing that happened. So the show...
It just sort of happens, doesn't it? Like, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of jokes like that thrown in there really catch you by surprise, and they don't really have any business even being a joke in the first place. That happens quite a lot of the times. I think Gowry as a character, like, I didn't hate the show by any means, but I'm more than willing to admit that it's not good.
I'm disappointed that you didn't hate it. Join us.
Well, as Tori knows, as you'll learn, Jay, with me, is I like shonen trash. So this was right up my alley.
I also like shonen trash, but this isn't good trash. This is the kind of trash that needs to get put in the bin and taken away.
I found a lot to have fun with the show. I think the goal of the show was to just have a fun romp. As you said, it was kind of like a D&D adventure. It was just a fantasy adventure game, almost like an RPG. It's like, hey, go do this thing and beat the dungeon boss.
Yeah, the guy who's telling the story, that's that one dude just conveniently every time something goes to... Yeah, but see, I have this secret sword of destruction that can take out this enemy. Since when? Since the start.
Well, that's all, like... so it's things like that, where just little... So instead of having an episodic kind of nuance episode, maybe they could have spent that actually getting the thing that's going to help them. Like if they were running away from being attacked and they stumble into a cave, then they find said item. Like just doing simple things like that, I think would have made this a lot better. Instead of just, we magically found this thing that will continue the plot for reasons convenient to this moment.
Yeah, but then it wouldn't be funny, JD.
Well, that's not, like, those parts wasn't funny when that happened, because that wasn't the comedic push of the show. I
would say that is very much the show was trying to push us as comedy.
What, the convenience of everything?
Yeah, they literally make a joke of it in the goddamn show itself.
Well, at the end, that was the chicken just be like, oh, everything falls conveniently into these idiots' hands.
That's the point.
That was the author taking the piss out of his own work, dude.
So I'm saying take that out and have them actually have a reason. Like, have a reason to have the Sword of Light instead of just saying, oh, my family has always had this. Just taking that little extra step would have made a miles difference for the show. I think laying off on Amelia's kind of, which they kind of did at the end of the show because she was kind of in the background a lot of the times. The whole champion of justice thing, and I did like the occasional joke of certain characters that they'd run across because you wouldn't hear that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot more fun with the show than you guys, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
From the sounds of it.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like you had a better time than us.
I did. I really like Lena Inverse. I really like her as a character, and even Gowry kind of, Gowry and Amelia. Zelgadis I didn't give a shit about from day one. just some dude there hanging out essentially. But those three main characters, the three people of that cast that talk the most, they did grow on me.
Tori, I think Big J just likes trash.
I know he likes trash.
Well, the first step is to admitting you like trash, and everything that you are is trash. So
I admit to the trash that I like, but this is not it.
Are we ready to score this thing and call it a day? Or do you guys got anything else to say about Slayers?
It's bad. There you go.
No, I'm done.
Okay.
I didn't really say much because everything I was going to say, Tori was already said. But yeah,
right. I'll just go first with the score since I've already said all the things why I enjoyed the show. I still only gave it a 6 out of 10 despite my positivity with the show. You know, it could have easily been a 7. No way in hell is it an 8. But the show isn't good. It has a lot to do. It has a lot of work to do in too many areas. But I don't think it's average. I think what it did for the time, it served its purpose. So 6 out of 10. Who wants to go next?
I mean, I can go next. So at the end of this, I decided to give this the score of a 5. Now, I could easily give this a lower score because I fucking hate the show. However, the thing with me is, like I've said before, I can give shows bad scores because I dislike it. I do give shows bad scores because I dislike it quite often, actually. And when I say bad scores, I mean even as far down as 1s and 2s. But for me with this show, the problem is just that as much as I don't enjoy it, I can see why people would like this when they were kids and grew up with this, and they were like, yeah, this was funny to me. I understand. Fair enough. But I don't like it. I hate it. Therefore, 5. Because 5 is that score that I give everything, and I just sit down and at the end of it, I go, I don't care. I don't care about this show.
But it seems like you did care about this show. You cared to hate it.
Thinking back on it, yeah. When I was watching it, no. When I was done watching it, I just went and did something.
You're right, Tori. If I was a kid watching the show, holy crap, I'd have so much nostalgia goggles for it all day.
Dude, I could see, even myself, if I watched this when I was 10, I could see myself easily just sitting there like laughing at everything. That is so silly. Now, hell no.
You guys have given me a very interesting...
Slippity, it's like you slapping your leg. Oh my god, that gallery. So dumb, that guy.
It's funny how he doesn't remember anything. Now I'm saying this, I know people like this in real life, and he's annoying.
Go on, Jay.
I was gonna say, like, after you guys saying that, like, it actually gave me something to think about, because, like, people would have watched this as a kid and thought it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, just put it in the same light as like the Pokemon, or what Tori said with Digimon. Like as an adult, yeah, maybe it's not as good, but as a kid, like you're just gonna love the show.
For sure. But I didn't watch it as a kid, did I? I watched it as an adult.
Oh, you did.
We all did. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10.
We're all around the same score, so that's good. And you guys hated the show.
Yeah. Oh,
well, it's not the worst piece of crap that I've watched, but it's up there.
It is not Eromanga Sense, I agree.
It's not the worst piece of crap. If there was incense incense, god damn it.
There is incense.
If there was incest in the show, would it get a lower score or a higher one?
You know what? That completely depends on what they do with it.
That's right. We haven't seen seasons 2 and 3.
We haven't. Also, just to kind of get Hickey's thoughts in here as well, because Hickey isn't here. So obviously, this is not as bad. It could have been worse. It could have been a smartphone, whatever the fuck that is called.
Oh sure, yeah. In another world with a smartphone, it was certainly not that.
Someone needs to say that. Since Hickey isn't here, I'm gonna have to do it.
Alrighty. So Jay, why don't you do one last plug, and then we can get out of here.
Okie dokie. Well, I've been Jay Silver from the SmackDown podcast. Like I said at the start, we do weekly wrestling recaps. Best of the Super Juniors on at the moment. JD, have you seen much of that?
I've seen almost all of it so far. I'm almost caught up.
It's a really freaking good tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. But yeah, like I said before, though, it's just unfortunate that WWE exists, and mostly we just cover New Japan, Ring of Honor, WWE, because there's just way too much indie wrestling out there, and occasionally when I buy random ass indie pay-per-views, we cover that as well. So if you got some time and like wrestling, come over and listen to myself and Corey Gold recap the week, and hey, JD's there sometimes too.
I sure am. So this has been the Red Leaf Retrocast, episode 25 of the Worldwide Weebs. We're well over 50 episodes of the RLR in total. Go check us out, Podbean, iTunes. Go leave a review for us to read on the podcast. We've gotten quite a few in the last few weeks. Thank you for that. It really gets the podcast further out there. Still under review for Spotify. The podcast can also be found Stitcher, Smart Radio, Google Play, and many others. Every episode is now live, streamed, assuming the internet works, via Bowling JD on Twitch, Mixer, and the YouTube page. Links are all in the below, all in the description below. And if you want to send an email, the email is also in the description there for any questions or suggestions for whatever podcast you listen to, be that the anime, which you've been listening to here, Retro Gaming, just put out an episode over vehicular combat. We also have a wrestling section, which, Jay, we will welcome you on in the future, for sure. And then modern gaming, which the next episode will cover May, which will be State of Decay 2, Detroit Become Human, and Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. So, this has been Red Leaf Retrocast. Thank you for listening, and we are outie.
Peace.
See us.
Alrighty.
That was fun. That went better than I thought after I didn't have to record.
Yeah, your audio came in crystal clear the whole time. There was just that one moment of dead air.
Yeah,
115, which I can just simply edit out. No big deal.
So all in all, like, did the podcast go okay? Because like I've never done, and I've done like one anime podcast, and that was awful because he kind of dropped it on me, and I was going to watch the movie like a day or two after. But yeah,
typical JD, always last minute.
No, it's not JD. Like I did a Digimon Adventure Tribe review with Recovery of an Anime Junkie, and we're supposed to do it like on a Thursday or something, and like on the Tuesday I get a message being like, oh, we need to do this today, I've got to go to work now, and it's like, oh, okay, I've watched the movie for like in about a month, but okay.
Alright then.
That's why I was really quiet, JD. Did you not figure that out, like while you were listening to it?
You were quiet?
It's okay. No, I held it.
No, this was for the other one, the Digimon one.
Oh yeah. You were.
Yeah.
Well then.
That was fun.
Well,
that was simply done. Wasn't too long. Couple hours.
2 hours.
Fair enough. It's nearly 2 a.m. So yeah, about 3 and about 2.5.
Oh yeah, it's almost lunchtime. And Tori is about to go to bed.
I'm about to go to bed. Are you fucking offending me? What the hell? It's not that late.
No, it's like dinner time for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Technically, it's past dinner time for me. But
for me, it's like 2 a.m. almost.
So, all right.
I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah.
Be here in a minute.
I'll definitely let you guys go. This was fun. I'll stay on and talk to Tori for a little bit.
I needed to do that thing with you. Like, it'll take 10 minutes, if that.
Okay. Well then, Tori, next podcast in a couple weeks, whistle. And we just need to figure out a discussion point.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was last meeting you did.
Yeah, it was last meeting you too.
So, all right.
Do you want to jump into SID and I'll tell you what we're doing very quickly?
Yeah, sure. I'll see you later, Tori. I'll talk to you later.
Tori.
Peace.